Bet. All right. We didn't come up with a title for the podcast.
No,
but,
we didn't do a
we'll,
lot.
We'll figure it out.
Work in progress.
I'm Michael.
Chase.
And we're just going to talk about some objectively true opinions about controversial topics. Yeah. Because we're never wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna...
Even if we disagree.
Correct. Yeah. Between one of us, there's an objectively correct opinion, and the next one is, like, the next closest, potentially.
But, okay, before we start talking about, like, controversial stuff, the first thing that happened, so... I know I mentioned it before, like when we were texting or whatever, but...
yeah.
About how, like, I needed Poison Ivy and Harley to break up because Harley ruins Poison Ivy's comic book.
Sure.
And in the last, like, the new...
How long has that been going on?
Oh, really? Okay, so...
I mean, for context.
I want to say that, like... I'm not going to get, like, the exact date right, but...
roughly.
But around, like, let's say... I want to say, like... 2015-ish is when Harley started becoming a lot more mainstream as an individual character from Joker.
Okay.
Right? And that was around the time the first Suicide Squad movie came out. And that was why. Is because in the New 52 time period... there was a pretty long ongoing Suicide Squad comic. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And she and Deadshot were the two leads of that storyline of that book.
Right.
And the premise of Harley at the time was literally the version that everyone knows nowadays, which is she broke up with Joker and is like an anti-hero sort of. And then right after that is when the thing with her and Ivy gets introduced.
Right.
So, like, a little less, like 8 years, like a little less than a decade, I would say, is how long they've like actually been together. Because she's like during that time period, she wasn't really with Ivy. She was like, she was with Deadshot a couple times. Like, not like they didn't date for real, but they were on the same team, so they were like sleeping together while they were like on missions and stuff. And they're the only like members of the Suicide Squad that don't really cycle out. I mean, Harley's not on the Suicide Squad anymore, but like back then, they were the only two consistent members, so it just kind of made sense. Because everyone else gets killed off, because that's what the Suicide Squad is supposed to be.
Right.
Unlike the movies. Which we could get into that too. But anyway, so yeah, so they've been together for like a little under 8 years, I would say. Like officially. And it's just like the Poison Ivy comic book is actually really good, but then every time Harley is in the scene, because it's like super serious stuff about like the green and being the avatar of nature or whatever, and like a war against like the death of the planet, you know, like
high level
Poison
shit,
Ivy shit, and she's becoming
consequences.
Yeah, and she's becoming like a demigod, and she has like a new, like, she's still Poison Ivy, but she also has a new name, like she's the Green Knight.
Oh, cool.
And it's because like the whole situation with Swamp Thing right now is complicated, so the Green is kind of like, we need someone more stable and more committed to like the Green above humanity, because Swamp Thing, even though he's supposed to be like the avatar of the Green, is a Justice League member, and he's like he's gonna pick mankind over the Green when push comes to shove, and Ivy won't. Like, anyway, so a couple issues back, I can't remember if it was in Ivy or in the Harley book, but they were like, they hinted at, I can't remember how exactly it came about, but it was just kind of like, oh yeah, we're gonna, or like, well, they introduced like a new love interest for both of them. It's the same girl that they both were fucking.
Wow.
Okay, which is already,
it's like almost like
their relationship
is situation.
This is the other situation. Yeah, well, it was like they both cheated on each other with this girl, and then after they both found out that they cheated on each other, they were like, "Oh, we'll just say that it's an open relationship," and I'm like, "That's not how that works." I'm like,
I now declare,
I'm like, and it's an open, and I'm like, so that's not healthy. I was like, that's not how that works at all. I'm like, you can't come to the conclusion after you.
It was actually always an open relationship.
It's so weird.
Wow.
Yeah, and anyway, but then first of all, the first thing that happened is that her name, the new girl, is Janet. That's her name. And
Powers?
No, she's just a girl they met, and
imagine pulling Harley Quinn
and Poison Ivy
at the
same time.
As just a dude.
As a normal ass,
crazy.
like civilian, yeah. Just a normal blonde chick with no special abilities at all. Anyway, but yeah, so the first thing I noticed, like, in the Ivy book more like specifically was because Janet's not in the Harley book at all. She's like she's an Ivy like side character.
Okay.
But she and Ivy had like way better chemistry really fast. And I was like, that's kind of weird that they're writing it like that when she's still technically dating Harley, and they always talk about how like they're soulmates and shit.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there were a few other things. I'm not gonna remember the details, but it felt like they were gearing up to be like, yeah, they're gonna break up.
Right.
And I was like, please, God, let it be true. And then in the not the most recent issue of Ivy just came out today, so I haven't read it yet. But at the end of last month's Ivy, the very last thing that happened was Ivy was like, oh yeah, I had to break up with Harley, and I was like, fuck yes. I literally
damn.
I was like, I'm so excited because Harley can be a good character, but not when she's with Ivy.
Yeah, at least they're writing it.
I mean, like, I'm sure she could be a good character with Ivy, but she never has been. She's always terrible with Ivy. Like, put her in the Birds of Prey book and make her, like, hanging out with all of them, like, as a superhero or whatever. She's great. With Ivy, she just, like, is comedic relief that doesn't need to be there. It's super obnoxious.
Oh, you were telling me about it. It was, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just dumb. So, yeah, so they're broken up. So, yay for me.
Did she leave her for Janet?
I mean, Janet's still with Ivy. I don't think it's... I think, well, okay, this is wild as fuck. So Ivy's mayor of Gotham now.
Was always, or...
No, like, she just became mayor of Gotham, like, in the last issue.
Yeah,
she got elected mayor by the people of Gotham. Gotham's a fucked up place.
I mean, that kind of...
Well, Vandal Savage is also their police commissioner right now. There's bad shit going on in Gotham.
Another elected position.
Yeah. Both of them got elected to office.
That's
and I'm
insane.
like, do y'all not have the news in Gotham? Like, at least Ivy is kind of good now, but, like, Savage is evil, bro.
Literally. Always has been.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And, but yeah. So I guess they implied that her becoming mayor, part of like her becoming mayor, or like I don't know why yet because they haven't explained it yet, but she broke up with Harley because of her whole thing to become mayor or whatever. I guess like maybe like Harley's bad PR or something, like, which doesn't make sense because Harley's on the Justice League, and
that's got more PR than the mayor.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is why.
That's the world.
Because I'm sure that's going to be the explanation, is that she's going to be like, oh, well, people think that you're crazy. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Look at her purse. She's got a Justice League card in there that like teleports her to the Watchtower if she needs it to. I'm like, y'all, but that's a bigger problem with like the writing right now in like DC Comics. Like, or not the writing, but like the communication between different writers for different books. Because it's like, I've said this before.
Oh yeah, you
like
have.
Where it's like,
this is like the fault of that model is that if they don't communicate, this can happen, right?
Yeah. Where it's like in like Birds of Prey books or in Justice League events, Harley is 100% a good guy and she's on superhero teams and behaves like someone who's on superhero teams. And then in her own book, she's still kind of a criminal, but like she's kind of helping people. And then in Ivy's book, she's more heroic than in her own, but like she's still okay with like killing people and stuff like that, and I'm like, none of that makes any sense.
Three different versions of her, basically.
Because that it all exists in the same continuity at the same time.
Yeah,
so it's just
they're the same somehow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a mess as far as that's concerned, which is why I'm glad that she's not gonna be in the Ivy book. But yeah, it doesn't make sense because I'm sure that's what their explanation is gonna be, is that Ivy's gonna be like, oh yeah, well people think you're insane, so I couldn't have you like standing beside me while I'm running for mayor because people associate. Well, it could be that people still associate her with the Joker. That could be a valid.
Yeah, but like she already got elected.
Yeah,
isn't that the hard part? Well, isn't that the PR shit?
But I think like when she was running.
That's when it happened. Because that would make
she broke up with her before she became elected.
Okay,
and I was like, maybe the Joker association thing, maybe that makes sense. But like,
I mean, but it's not really. It doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, yeah, but like. People in Gotham are stupid, apparently, because they keep electing supervillains to be. I mean, yeah, to run their city offices. When you take
that into factor, who fucking knows?
Yeah,
at that point.
But yeah, so I'm just glad that they're broken up, and I really hope they commit to it. Please don't undo
DCU.
it. I need it to just be done.
I mean, I'll be honest. If I was betting money, I'd bet that they plan to undo it.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way Janet is gonna be.
I hope so. Honestly, I'm like, look, somehow make this happen.
Janet is like a plot device.
Make Janet Harley or Ivy's new like love interest, and fucking leave Harley out of it. Just That would be great for me personally.
I mean, there's probably others that share your belief.
Yeah.
Considering how she was portrayed, I mean, yeah.
Though I don't know, people fucking love the Harley book because they're stupid. They think it's funny, and I'm just like, it's not funny. It has no narrative direction at all. She just does random shit for 55 issues in a row.
Well, funny doesn't necessarily mean good.
Yeah.
So.
But people like the goofy, I don't know, like hijinks.
Yeah, sure.
Harley Quinn that doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, but like the one that doesn't really exist anymore, basically.
Yeah, people want Harley to be like the right after she broke up with Joker Harley.
Sure.
And I'm like, she hasn't been that in a really, really long time. I'm like, if we want to retcon the whole thing and have her go back to that, that's fine. But like, that's not where we are.
Yeah, it would take a lot to do that anyways.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. What should we talk about? Which thing? What were we going to first?
There's a few different things. I mean, one of them we were considering which way to attack this. Are we going to talk about bad, controversial or bad endings to shows, and who thinks it's a bad ending and it's a good ending, vice versa. I know you have one belief that is likely pretty unpopular.
We can start with an easy. Okay. We can start with Game of Thrones because everybody knows Game of Thrones is fucking
believe,
stupid.
I think
ending,
everyone's
obviously.
Yeah, the ending's bad. Show. Now I think like where you could get into nuance is when does it start to become bad, and what is bad about it. I think most people will agree that it felt rushed and, they cut the story apart and the way they progressed things didn't make a lot of logical sense. Yeah. But I maintain that, the first few episodes of Season 8, for example, were really not that bad. I think in my opinion, it's pretty safe to say Season 7 wasn't bad at all. I like Season 7 a lot. I think there's some people that don't. That see that as the point where it starts to drop off. I mean, you could say less shit happens. But I don't think you can say that it's objectively bad or like took the narrative in the wrong direction.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I've seen lots of people say that
I've never really
that season 7.
I rewatched it.
Is the beginning of the end, and I'm like I disagree entirely with that. Like maybe it's
just revisionist history.
Yeah, and I guess season 7 is when it started to be different from the book, so it makes sense that's
why
people
that is
would
what
be
they
upset
say
about it. And Correct. I'm like, okay, I understand that, but like season 7,
but it was great.
Yeah, I'm like that was a good time.
Yeah,
and then season 8 is when. Yeah, I mean, I would agree about
the first couple episodes,
too, I mean, the long night was not long enough, sure, but
also it was like again, people argue it's like a fucking dark ass episode and shit, but like overall, okay, besides some of that shit which can be argued, first couple episodes were putting the story in the right direction still, and I don't think they made any mistakes really,
except for the coffee cup.
Okay, that was famous, of course. Yeah, the coffee cup was that Sophia Turner.
No, that was oh my god, what's her real name? Danny.
Oh, yeah. Emilia Clarke.
That's right. Emilia Clarke. Yeah, it was her coffee cup. Well, it was like in front of her.
I don't know if it was in front of her.
I don't think it was actually
like
hers. I think there's like an
employee's.
I think she was on a talk show or something where she was like, "Oh, it wasn't mine, but it was right in front of me, so everyone thinks it was mine."
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Emilia. Not your responsibility, but you should have seen it. I don't know. I think
she's like, she's standing there at the table,
not
like in the full like Danny get up, and there's like a Starbucks cup right there, and she's just like,
I guess the logo wasn't super prominent. Whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah. But anyways,
still, like, even if the logo's like not facing her, so she can't see it, which it wasn't. Obviously, it was facing the camera. But it's like that's a coffee cup. You don't have coffee cups in fucking Game of Thrones. Like,
right.
It's a styrofoam cup. Like that doesn't exist in your world.
Yeah. But the season 7 overall, I think. Solid season. You can't say it took the show backwards. Yeah. I think it took the show forwards. You can maybe argue by how much, but it was solid. Season 8, first couple episodes, again, besides, that shit.
But even that stuff, like, the little errors.
Well, of course not. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
If season 8 had been
no one would
people
care.
wanted it to be, and there was a Starbucks cup, no one would give a shit.
No, no one, it would,
But now it's just like the cherry on top of the sundae of awfulness. It's like, oh yeah, and there was the Starbucks cup.
Yeah. But, first couple episodes, I think, again, where the nuance comes in is, like, where does it become bad? And there's a couple things that come to mind for me. I remember, I think it was episode 3, but I couldn't have been past, like, episode 4. I remember, and this just, for me, represents, like, huge deviation from, like, or progression that doesn't really make sense. So, I believe it was, believe, yeah, it was Danny. God, I'm gonna have to remember all these people's names. What's his name? Not Tywin. Oh, his son. One of his sons, not Jaime. Tyrion, yeah. So it was like Tyrion. Danny was there. I think Stannis or what's her face was still. Melisandre was there. I think Stannis was still alive at this point. So I think he was there, and they were talking to Danny about, like what her plans are post, beating
the Night King. Yeah.
Yeah, beating the Night King, and also beating Cersei as well.
Yeah.
And she was literally saying in the episode, and this always just sticks out to me. She's literally saying, she's like, yeah, I'm not going to do anything rash. Okay, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. It's not about like kill.
Yeah.
It's about, removing them from power, defeating the threat, building shit back up.
Right.
She's always been about freedom, right? Sure. And like liberation.
The whole breaker of chains.
Right. Thing, breaker of chains. Exactly. And so that's what she was spewing in that episode. You'd have to look up what the quotes of her are, but that is effectively what she was saying. And then, basically less than 2 episodes later, completely completely erased everything.
The Mad Queen arrives and it's like, fuck y'all.
Like, they're worried about the Mad Queen shit, I think, potentially in that scene.
Well, yeah, because like that's her dad, so they're all. Correct. Then they don't know her, so they're like, hey, are you?
So they're worried, but like she's reassuring.
Yeah.
And like you have no reason not to believe her, and there's literally nearly no signs.
Yeah.
Because all of like her anger moments came seasons ago.
Yeah.
Like, and she's shown nothing but progression up until this point of like, basically she, you're buying in if you're a Game of Thrones viewer, and I challenge anybody who disagrees with me on this, you're buying in at least up until that point. It's like season 8, episode 4 or 3 or whatever. You're buying in that Danny is like the savior, basically.
Yeah, she's the chosen one. Yeah.
And Jon Snow's great and all, but like Danny's actually the one who will bring about change.
Yeah. Like Jon was never gonna sit on the throne.
Correct.
Like no matter what you reveal at any point in the story.
Yeah,
like,
Danny,
regardless of him being Aegon.
They could have shared it or something or whatever.
Yeah, but he would never have been
the guy. Like
his chair would have been smaller than Danny's.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he would be, poster child, whatever. Yeah. Danny would be the leader. So, when you go that far against it so quickly with zero explanation, destroys so much reputation.
Yeah.
So much of what is built. I mean, that's when again, in terms of, like, when it was bad, I think it was, like, everything up until that point was fine. Personally,
by first 2 episodes, and then
yeah. Basically up until
up until she's like Dracarys on the whole city, and it's just like, okay.
I think like you could tell if we want to talk about the show's quality. I think you could tell after the first couple episodes that there were some questionable decisions. Like I think it was 5 or 6 where Jaime is like thinking about Cersei.
Yeah. He like fucks back off to the capital. Yeah, and it's like, okay.
And you're like, what the fuck?
You like check your notes. It's like, when did this man leave again? Oh, like episode 3 of season 1 or some shit like that.
I will say with confidence, beating my chest, that up until
I want to see when he did leave.
Yeah. Look it up. It up. I will say with my chest as loud to the hills that Jaime Lannister was probably one of the, like, we're talking top 3 best character arcs of all time, up until that point. Because he was Mr. Asshole for so long, basically tried to kill a kid to incest his sister, which is crazy, to being still, like, a complete asshole and slaughtering people for his father, doesn't give a shit, to starting to be worn down, but still an asshole, to being like a lot more reasonable and having conversations with people like Tyrion, who are obviously a lot more reasonable. And then, you get his arc with Brienne towards the end, and it's basically like, we've landed. If we're talking about an arc,
yeah,
perfect. If the show, and forget the fact that it would leave too many unanswered questions, but if the show had stopped there and it was about Jaime, it would be a perfect show. To destroy that is like insane to me.
Yeah. I mean, if you had like a this, it wouldn't make sense obviously because Jamie's story takes place inside the main story. But like if you had like a Jamie centric show,
just from his POV,
just from his POV, and it ended with when he and Brienne get together, like at the very end of season, or beginning of season 8, and it's just like
that'd be sick.
But it wasn't as early as I was thinking. It's like the very beginning of season 4 is when he like I guess Cersei tries to make him kill Tyrion or something, and then he's like no. Because it's his brother, and then okay. I guess he gets captured by Brienne like shortly after that.
That's right.
And then he's not with Cersei ever again.
Correct. And he's like I said, he's just worn down after that. He's like in a fucking cage, and he's still an asshole for a long fucking time. Super sexist, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, definitely, or at least like
just a prick.
Definitely belittling towards Brienne. Just for like looking ugly or whatever.
Yeah, for looking ugly or being a girl or a lot of that shit. And then you see over the course of multiple seasons, like, the slow progression, and he ends up, like, saving her life, I think, or something, saving other people's lives. He does a lot of good shit. They probably go back and forth saving each other's lives.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's a specific one where, like, when he's in his cage still, and they're, like...
That was right after he got captured.
And they're like camp gets attacked or something like that, and he definitely could have
maybe not right after.
He definitely could have like escaped or whatever, and then he goes back to save somebody, and then doesn't escape, and she's like, "That was weird."
Yeah.
And then that's like the first time that Jamie does something that's not fucking horrible.
Right. Yeah, and it just like, and that's like, nothing. And then over time, it's great, but. I mean, one of the biggest sins of that show is destroying his character. I mean, everyone's going to talk about Dany shouldn't have been evil, or if it was evil, it should have happened over the course of like 2 or 3 more seasons.
Dany should have been evil.
And I think that's fine.
The Mad Queen is way better.
I think it's a cooler story. I also think it is, it's interesting to entertain the idea that she breaks the cycle. Break the wheel. Sure. Right? I mean, that was the whole season 1 of the show.
Okay, I'll say this. I don't think she should have become like full Mad Queen where she was just insane and killing people for no reason. Like, again, you'd have to like add a lot more story, right? Like another season.
Yeah. We're talking. I would think like 5.
You could arrive to a point where you could justify what she did to the Capitol.
Yeah.
From her point of view.
Sure.
And have it not be like what her dad was, where her dad was just killing people because he was literally crazy. Not angry. He was actually insane. And just thought everything was a threat. So he was killing people for no reason whatsoever. Whereas, like, the thing with Missandei dying and then Dany being like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to kill everybody. Yeah. It's like, you can get to that point and make that make sense and have her still be able to be a good queen, but, like, an evil one. As opposed to the Mad Queen who's just crazy and kills people for no reason.
Yeah, but I still don't think... Okay, I think that...
But the Chosen One thing would be better.
I think from a narrative perspective, I thought that was the idea.
Right. Well, especially it's weird too because I don't know if you've watched House of the Dragon at all, but
I'm not completely caught up, but
I'm okay. Yeah. But there's I can't remember when it happens in House of the Dragon, but there's a scene that's like, oh my God, what's his name?
Viserys?
No. The Daemon. Daemon has like a vision or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the vision he has is literally it's like a prophecy about Dany.
Yeah, I think I remember we're talking about.
Yeah. So it's like, and in the prophecy that he sees, and they're like, it's not like subtle. It's not like flashes of imagery that you're like, oh, I could theoretically connect the dots and be like, this is pointing to Dany or Jon or whatever.
Right.
It's like they say like word for word in the vision that it's about some last daughter of whatever.
Yeah.
And
this is season 1, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember, but it's like the prophecy that he foresees is like, oh yeah, Dany's gonna save the world, and it's just like, y'all know what happened at the end of season 8, right? Like, this is the same universe. She did not save the world. I mean, like, I guess technically she did because she didn't even kill the Night King. I was gonna say if she had been instrumental with the Night King, then it'd be different, because then you could still argue that even though you could
argue Cersei, but I mean, I don't know.
But Cersei wasn't a threat to the world, though. Yeah. Like, they would have beaten Cersei with or without. I mean, like...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
The King in the North thing. I mean, yeah, but the King in the North, like their whole army, you just take Dany away. Like if she died, they still would have won. I think eventually against Cersei. I don't think Cersei's forces could take everybody. At that point in the show, it was literally everyone against Cersei.
Correct.
There's no way she's winning that fight because that was the whole thing when they were marching down there, and they were like, "You should surrender because we will
Cersei
kill all of you."
No, she's fucked.
Yeah.
The whole season.
Because that was her whole thing at the end of season 8 too, was she was like, "Oh well, we'll let the Night King wipe them out."
Right.
And then we'll deal with that.
Hoping.
And because she was like, if they don't lose to the Night King, then I can't beat them.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, anyway, the prophecy thing.
Yeah.
Because you could, like, if Dany had been instrumental in the defeating the Night King, you could say, the prophecy still technically happened, even though she turned evil 5 minutes later and then got killed.
Yeah.
But she wasn't. Like, you take Dany out of the final battle, the Dothraki didn't do shit. They got fucking folded.
Yeah,
and then the dragons didn't do anything either. And the Night King wasn't even part of the actual battle. He snuck around the rampart to the back and then got fucking boxed by Arya.
Yeah.
And it was
what was the quote about the dragons too? Oh, I guess, what's her face? Dany just forgot about the Iron Fleet. I always think about that fucking quote. That quote rings in my ears sometimes. Whenever somebody says they like forgot about something, or it's just like, oh yeah, Dany just kind of forgot about the that's why she told one of her fucking dragons to just fly over there and get fucking absolutely fucked by a harpoon. You know how hard it is to hit that to the point where you don't even have to fly your dragon over there. It's a fucking boat. You know? That was the whole anyways.
Yeah. Dude. I was going to say the other thing that I think Season 8 has problems with is that, obviously...
And after the first couple episodes, it starts to go downhill.
Well, I was going to say, like, just, like, power scaling stuff in Season 8, where, like...
Well, Arya and Night King...
Yeah, like threats don't match each other. Like, I mean, even like, with when when what's his name? The Iron Fleet guy, whatever, kills the other dragon, and it's like, the whole... It doesn't feel right.
It feels wrong.
Because it's like,
it actually feels so wrong.
Even though they explain, like, oh yeah, these bolts are special and they can kill dragons, it's like, it doesn't matter because the whole show, the dragons have been the ultimate trump card. Correct. Where it's like, the second Dany arrives, you're just fucking done. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter. You can't do anything. Right. And then he just one-shots her other dragon, and it just is like...
insane! It's just like the shot.
Just right in the heart.
How do you
first
do a
try.
Moving target? Yeah. You know, keep in mind, there's magic and shit, but that's not magic.
A heavily armored, like, magical creature.
Yeah.
That's flying who knows how fast.
How do you do that,
And this man's just like, pow!
Like,
bro had aimbot on that thing. It was crazy.
And thank God the dragon didn't, change course.
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah, the fact that, like, that no one sees it coming,
the million
no
things
one
that
reacts.
could have prevented it. Yeah. And again, Dany, who loves her dragons literally probably more than anything in the show.
Yeah.
Doesn't even check out the area or doesn't give a fuck. I guess it's part of her going insane.
I think but see, the power scaling thing also immediately comes back to the Iron Fleet because they had the same fucking harpoon thingies on the ramparts of the capital.
Oh yeah, they got destroyed.
And what's her dragon? Oh, that's the big one. Was it Ray?
Drogon?
Drogon, yeah. Drogon just fucking destroys them all in like 5 seconds. Like literally every single one of them completely misses, and he's just like, all right.
And they take like a long time to fire up. It's like a Death Star.
And it's like, okay, it's like, so what happened with the other fucking crossbow? Like,
so you're telling me it's easier to hit it on a boat with a dragon flying a million miles away in the sky than you're on a thing and the dragon's above you, or like to the right or left of you.
Yeah, right. That's the other thing too. It's like the elevation.
But you can hit
elevation difference, right? Where it's like Drogon going against the ramparts of the capital was like this with the crossbows. Meanwhile, the other dragon, I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Was like up here, and your boy's down here, and just goes kapow and shoots him, and it's like,
and again,
that's so dumb. Bro had a freaking artillery cannon on that boat, like,
it was.
But and then Arya and the Night King, and
I didn't hate the Arya and the Night King. I just don't love how it played.
I don't hate.
It was a hype moment.
Yeah, I don't hate Arya and the Night King. It's just that the Night King doesn't do anything in the final fight.
Yeah, it's surprising that at this whole point. We get a couple, we get like a minute worth of cool fighting, maybe 2, and then and then he's gone.
Yeah.
But like, it's one thing to say that and like have him appear several times, but he's never fought. He never did anything up until this point. Yeah. So that's 2 minutes for the whole show.
I think the coolest thing he ever did was in season 7 when he kills the first dragon and turns it into the ice dragon.
Oh, that was sick as fuck. Oh yeah,
and that's the only thing he ever did.
When he kills what's his face? Why do I want to say Braum, but it's not Braum. I think I'm pulling that from Aragon. It's her fucking White Knight, literally. Dany's White Knight.
Oh.
Old dude.
Yeah.
Like that was sick.
I can't remember his name.
Poor dude. I
haven't watched this show.
Actually, so critical. He had actually a good end.
Here, let's find out.
He had a good end to his arc. Sad, but I think appropriate.
Everyone who died in a long night had a decent end because they didn't survive long enough to be part of the bullshit that was the rest of the show.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although, the Night King maybe should not have been.
But yeah, like if the Night King had some big, flashy battle sequence where it was like 100 people trying to take him down, and he's just fucking mowing them down left and right, and then Arya comes out of nowhere and stabs him in the back or something.
John fights him for like a minute.
Yeah. Just have like everybody, or have John involved with it, whatever, and then just have Arya come out of nowhere, like when he's got John dead to rights or whatever the case.
I don't even hate that Arya. The kill. It's pretty cool, but the way it happened.
Jorah.
What led up to that?
Holy crap!
Oh yeah, Jorah. Good old Jorah.
But yeah, it's just he doesn't do anything.
But yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
But yeah, like that was handled well, which is what's frustrating to me about that show in general. I mean, we'll cover other shows too, but they did a really extremely good job. I mean, through and through with the character arcs before that. And I think that was basically that's in my opinion. I think that's what they did the best. People will say the world building. And, I mean, obviously a lot of it is George R.R. Martin, but, the show executing the world building.
Yeah.
And covering all the storylines correctly. Presenting it well. High quality, high budget show. Cool story narrative. Obviously, they didn't stick the landing. But the character arcs were the best. So for them to fuck shit up at the end with that, too, is pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, still enjoyable to rewatch. If you can tear, if you either stop at season 7 or you just kind of forget. Because they do such a good job, but it still makes it hard to rewatch.
Yeah, plus, I mean, just Jon getting banished for no reason at the end.
Oh, well, dude, you know what the scene that frustrates me?
Bran the Broken becoming king is the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, Bran the Broken, I think that deserves some conversation. I will say, though, if I had to pick something from the show that I didn't like before all of this, when Jon Snow gets, like, fucking stabbed a million times, what the fuck were those fuckers doing, man? You guys are fucking stupid as shit.
You know, like when they killed him the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're stupid as fuck. I hate that everyone just went through with it anyways. I understand... It worked, and okay, he obviously didn't die, but like, and it okay, it was a nice, it was an okay fake out, I guess, but the fact that nobody stood up for him was kind of pissed me off.
Oh yeah,
everyone's just like, all right, yeah, we'll just fucking sorry. His best friend's like, yeah, I guess I'll just fucking stab you too, and I'll look sadder than the guy before me, but I'm still going to. You're already dead, like, but I'm just gonna, we're gonna keep doing this. Fucked. And I also recognize part of the reason he lived, I guess, is how it went down. But still, or came back to life. But I don't know. Otherwise, great show.
At least we have House of the Dragon.
Yeah, House of the Dragon's great. I need to catch up, but I think I watched all of season 1. I don't know if I finished season 2 or not. I think I did, but I haven't seen season 3. Season 3's done, yeah.
No, I don't think season 3 came out yet.
Oh, okay. I guess that.
If it has, then I have not been paying attention.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's
maybe
about.
Not.
I think
they do have long waiting periods.
Yeah. I think it's about to come out like really soon because I keep seeing shit popping up on my phone about like the Queen is coming or shit like that, like talking about Rhaenyra, and it's just like okay, cool.
Yeah, fair enough. But I think you had other shows you want to talk about. What comes to your mind when you think of endings for shows?
All right, we might as well just talk about Attack on Titan first. All right, real quick. We might as well get that out of the way.
See, I think, viewer discretion advised here. Because
to piss off the whole internet.
I think, let's get the good out of the way.
Okay, first
let's get the good out of the way.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about the good stuff first.
Well, let's just say this, even before we get into the specifics, like, up until what point you love the show?
No, that's complicated.
Okay, well, I know you go back and forth, but I think
there's no up until. It's like a very specific outcropping.
Okay, well, but well then we'll fine. Then I might just ask you then. Well, I'll go first because here's my opinion about the show. Great show overall. I think I would put it in my top animes. It wouldn't be number 1. I don't think it would be number 2. I don't know if it would even really be number 3. But I think it'll be up there because
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
because that actually pisses me off more than anything.
People put it in their
top,
top
I see people
like
talking
1, 2,
about
3.
anime and they'll be what pisses me off.
So many good shows.
What pisses me off is when people be talking about like fiction in general. Like I saw someone say this the other day. I can't remember what it was. Some other podcast or something.
I'm putting AOT on that.
And they were like, oh yeah, I think Attack on Titan is the best fictional story ever. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit anyone's ever said.
Best story ever created.
Yeah, like literally above everything else in the world. And I was like, that's an insane thing to say because it sucks.
Yeah.
No, but even if I give you like the Attack on Titan is like a top 5 anime, I'm like, it does not belong anywhere near the top 5 fiction.
No.
But even then, when people talk about anime, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's the best anime by a landslide. I'm like, if you argued it and you were like, oh yeah, like this is why I think it's the best, I'd be like, fine. But people that just like blanket statement are like Attack on Titan is the best anime because it is. It's just like you're wrong.
You should never be able to say you for no reason that just because you're hyped by it or whatever.
Yeah.
But Attack on Titan, I think for me, beginning to end, pretty solid. I didn't love the show every season. I also thought it had some fluctuating quality, but not huge. Like I would say like. First season a little slow, but I don't think I'd give it below like a 7, and I would say around season 2 or 3 there's like a dip. Maybe season 2 a little bit. I have to.
It's not season 3.
Okay.
Season 3 is the only good season.
Yeah, you're right. I love season 3. You're right. So I think it took a little bit of a dip for me in season 2, but I think overall it was still solid. I really had no problem with it whatsoever, and that will be reflected in what I respond with what Michael will say, because that'll just remind me the specifics. And then in terms of the ending, season 3 was gas. I think we'll both agree on that.
Yeah,
but
no, season 3 is some peak shit.
And I think, do you also agree with like the beginning of season 4? Or...
The beginning of season 4 is good.
Yeah.
It's just
okay. We'll get to it. But yeah, beginning of season 4, great. I think we agree there. Starts out fantastic, continues the story again, thinking how hype season 3 was and setting up the consequences of the entire show.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic. And then season 4 starts out great in terms of progressing that. Starts out hot. And in my opinion, this is perhaps where we branch off. Sticks the landing as well. Now, I think they could have gone different directions with it. I also think it just went insane. I mean, to the a supernatural extent. Don't have a huge problem with that.
With the march and everything?
Yeah, the march was insane. And maybe that's just me not having watched enough animes in general, but
I don't think so. I mean, there's not a lot of anime that do planet-ending type shit.
True.
That actually happens.
Yeah. That actually gets to the worst possible midnight hour.
Yeah.
So towards the very end, the very 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 end when he was going as crazy as he was. I still thought it was good. I thought it was a little crazy, but I still appreciated it. And I think specifically the way it ended, spoilers obviously, it was appropriate. I didn't think there was any way he couldn't die. All right. I just didn't think there was any way he couldn't get away with it, basically.
Sure.
We'll go into more specifics, but, I think for the most part, if you thought in your mind, if you're given it all the relevant information about the show, all right, and I think this is going to be my main argument against what you will say. If you take all the information about the show and you've watched the show up until, mid-season 4, let's say, and I asked you how you think it should end, I think that's how the show ended. Now, I think that's closer to objectivity than I think whether you like the ending or not. But I think up until that point of the show, probably that's how it was going to end, and I think it makes sense. But I like it because you need the consequences, and well, in this case, I mean, it turns out more positive, but it's like full circle. Anyways,
sure.
I think that's the common, more so the common belief. So I mean, there's no use me going on and on. What did you think? I mean, okay, so season 3. Well, let's start with season 2 or season 1. Maybe.
Season 1, I probably have less of an issue with than season 2. Season 2 really pisses me off.
Yeah, why do you hate season 2?
Season 1 is fine, I guess. Like there's just
the pacing's a little weird.
First of all, yeah, the pacing's a little bit weird, and I think my thing with the first 2 seasons is really just that it feels really repetitive to me when they're like, because every single episode it's like someone gives a big speech about how they're going to win a fight against the Titans. And then they go out on their stupid little cable things, get absolutely folded, and then everybody starts crying and screaming and running away. And Aaron's just a little bitch in the first season, too. That's not helpful.
That's I think anyone would agree with you on that.
Yeah. But I don't like it. That's why it's not fun to watch.
That's like one of the most common tropes, though.
I know, but it's not good, and people act like it's good, and I'm like, they give a speech about how they're not going to be afraid, then they're all afraid, and Aaron cries, and that's how every single episode. Well, you can't. Well, every single episode is like that, and then. So that's really my only thing with season 1 is it just feels like the same thing happens every single episode, and I can't remember when the reveal of Reiner and Bertolt.
I think it's season 2.
I think it's season 2 as well, because that's part of why I don't like season 2, because everyone thinks that's like God's gift to fiction is that twist.
Yeah,
and I'm just and
I like it too. I don't know if I put it up there, but we'll talk about it.
But okay, well, first of all, the thing that pisses me off about season 2 is that the whole entire season they're building towards the reveal that the like nameless Titans are people that have been like turned into Titans, right? Correct. Like, and they're not in control. Like they're not, you know what I mean? Like they're not like the weapon Titans. They're just mindless monsters now. But the reveal being towards the end of season 2 when I can't remember who it is. One of them goes back to that one village, and the village is like all it's like his mom.
Yeah.
And a handful of other villagers, and they're all just like
and they recognize her.
Yeah, he like recognizes her face, and they're like slumped over Titans, and then they're like, "Oh shit, the Titans have been people this whole time." Right. And I was like, "I know that." I'm like, and I, it's one of those things where you could say that I'm making it up or whatever, because obviously I have no way to prove it. But like, I remember so specifically watching like the very first episode of the show. And right after the first, like the attack Titan or whatever attacks the city. Well, it was after that when I was thinking about it, because I was distracted by like the scene itself, and I wasn't really thinking about it yet. But Aaron does like some sort of voiceover or something when the show starts, explaining the world, like all anime does. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's these Titan things, and they're just these giant monsters or whatever," and I'm like, "They're zombies." I'm like, "They're zombies, but they're giant." That's what it like. I remember like immediately I was like, that's what it's gonna be, and it's gonna really bother me when that's what the answer is, and it's not just like, because I would almost
thought it was like something supernatural.
Yeah,
like
I would almost prefer if it was like some like fucking magic.
I think that
doorway.
works. The show uses that intentionally.
Yeah,
I think.
But see, that's the thing is like
they angle the ambiguity of it.
I don't care. I don't care like. Sure, but I don't care if they were like intentionally trying to be ambiguous. It's. I mean,
you don't have to care, but like
not,
I think
it's not creative enough for me. And
who cares?
No, the problem though is it's like if you're gonna do something that basic, don't make the entire mystery of season 2 figuring out something super obvious. Because that's.
Well, I think it was also the wall, right? Or was that season 3?
No, that was season 3.
Okay,
I think.
I thought it was whatever.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure it was season 3
because I
don't remember honestly.
It's been a while.
I just remember that season because it wasn't the end. It wasn't the very end of season 2 when they revealed it. It was like there were like 2 or 3 episodes left, I think, when they go back to the village and they're like, "Oh shit, Titans are people." Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's so like just wasting so much time on the characters being like something feels off, or like I'm like that like, you know, I feel like I recognized that Titan or whatever, you know, it happens throughout the entire season.
That is how they set it up though in the intro. They're like, oh, we don't know where they came from. I mean, I'm pretty sure
I know they're like, we don't know where they came from, they just appeared one day, and it's just like, that's fine. But the fact that the answer is, oh, they're just people that got turned into mindless creatures, and it's just like, obviously, like,
yeah,
I don't
to
have,
some extent. Sure.
I guess I'm like separating. My issue is not that they are like giant zombies. My issue is that they wasted season 2 acting like that was a big deal, and it's not a big deal because it's super obvious that that's what they are. Like, if the twist had been they're not just people that were turned into monsters, there's some sort of like crazy, you know. I mean, especially with all the other stuff with the Titans later on, with the time travel and like being able to possess people and shit. It's like you could have done, you could have done anything and made it insane, and I would have been like, okay, that's cool, because I wouldn't have seen that coming. But then the fact that the answer is just the super obvious answer, it's like, it's fine if the answer's the obvious answer, but they waste an entire season trying to make it seem like it's some big, crazy, unknowable surprise, and it's just like, it's not.
That's pretty common in anime, though.
I guess.
With like,
but on my point, I guess
it's somewhat fair.
The issue though is that a lot of like the reasons that people tend to seem to like Attack on Titan or say that's really great is because of all like the plot twists.
Okay, and I wouldn't say that.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's like the only reason, but it's definitely a big thing.
No. Let's say that's a thing, right? I wouldn't say that would should even be characterized as really a plot twist.
I know.
If people, in my opinion, if people are talking about the show having plot twists, I wouldn't count that one. As like a good show plot twist. I would count Reinhardt and Bertolt, because that shit. Well, and if only because when it happened, my jaw fucking dropped, and I was genuinely surprised. And that does not. I like you probably, you were able to guess a lot of things. You know, a lot of potential things. It doesn't take a genius to guess some shit like that. But I think Annie got me too, although I don't really remember. It's been so long. But definitely Bertolt and Reinhardt. So I don't know what you're fucking smoking.
Okay. So Reinhardt and Bertolt's thing.
Because they were like... Anyways, keep going.
It's kind of like the opposite. I have like the opposite problem with them as I do with the Titan reveal thing.
Okay.
It's not that it's like, obviously it's surprising because it happens out of nowhere, and it's like bam, and they just turn, and it's like, oh yeah, we've been Marleyan spies the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like oh shit. So like in that sense, yes, it's surprising, but it's not.
You're saying they didn't give enough evidence.
There's no evidence at all.
There's some.
No. Okay. Actually, there is evidence,
maybe
but
not
there
enough.
is not foreshadowing, okay? That's the problem. And because people will be like, "Oh, well, like I was talking to Uzair about this the other day, because he was like, he asked me, he was like, what exactly are your problems with Attack on Titan again, like outside of the season 4 stuff that's like he agrees with me on."
Yeah.
And I was like, so I was explaining the Reinhardt and Bertolt, like my reasoning for it, and it's just because you'll see if you complain and say, oh well, it came out of nowhere, so like if
you watch when they're interacting,
it came out of nowhere, so it's just dumb because it wasn't set up at all. People will be like, oh, it was set up. If you analyze every fucking frame of the first 2 seasons, you can see when there's scenes where they're like listening in the background to like whatever Aaron's plan is, or when they're not there and you're not thinking about it because they're not forefront characters in that scene or whatever the case might be, and they're like, oh, there's all this evidence of like, so they heard this plan and that's why it failed, and they are not in the room when this thing is happening, which means that they were transforming elsewhere and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like I think there's a battle early on in season 1.
Well, just their absence in general is evidence.
Yeah, and I think there's a battle early on in season 1 where like you're like following Bertolt and someone else, and then the camera cuts away, and the next thing you know, whatever, I can't remember what Bertolt's Titan's called, but like whatever his Titan is called is like on screen next, and you're not thinking about it because
Lawful Titan is Bertolt
maybe
or the other one?
yeah.
Well, there's one's a Colossal and one's...
Attack Titan... Oh, no, wait.
Oh, no, that's Eren.
Colossal Titan is
It's one of Bertolt.
It's
Bertolt.
It's Reiner.
It is...
The armored one?
No, the armored Titan is
Reiner.
Right.
Yeah. I was thinking they were the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. Anyways. But yeah, so it cuts away. Like, you see Bertolt and then one of the other, whatever they're called, go out on, like, the little rope, their thingies.
Yeah.
And then the camera cuts away, and then the next thing you know, the Colossal Titan's there, and he's fucking killing everybody. And you just assume that Bertolt either got away or died or whatever, because you're not thinking about it because there's now a Colossal Titan.
See, I almost like that better. Than foreshadowing.
But the problem is that, like, and that was the argument. Like, his argument was, oh well, it's a good twist because Eren was like, I was as surprised as Eren was when it happened.
Correct.
And I'm like, that doesn't make it a good twist. Like, just because...
Well, that doesn't... Correct, but I think overall...
Just because the character didn't see it coming doesn't make it good automatically.
Correct. I would agree with that.
My problem is there's no foreshadowing at all. Like, there is evidence. If you look really, really carefully, you can prove that they left continuity open enough to be like, yes, that's who they are, and it's not like a retcon or anything. But there's no foreshadowing or setup for it at all. So when it happened, I wasn't like surprised and like an oh shit, that's fucking awesome.
You were like, how the fuck?
I was like, I literally like paused the show and rewound like a couple minutes because I was like, I had to have missed some information because that just came out. It literally was just like, oh yeah, this is a thing now, and I was like, what the fuck do you mean? So it wasn't like oh my god, that's cool. I was just like, I was annoyed. I was like, well, you can't just like reveal information that hasn't been. I guess I had like an example of it. It's kind of funny. So I don't know if you've ever played Stanley Parable.
I've seen playthroughs.
So there's like one of the endings is like the closet ending. I don't know if you've ever seen clips of it or whatever, but it's pretty funny. But like anyway, if you go into this, there's like a closet in the main hallway, and the narrator tells you, he doesn't say anything actually. There's just a closet in the main hallway, and if you go into the closet, he'll be like, why are you in the closet? I didn't tell you to go in there, blah, blah, blah. And then if you stay in the closet for a little while, he'll start to get annoyed with you, the narrator, and then it'll be like, if I had said Stanley walks past the closet, then you would have at least had a reason to check to see what's in the closet, but I didn't mention it at all, so it's not worth checking.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That right there is the problem. Like, if you don't, like, if you mention, like, the closet example, it's like, if I say Chase walked by the closet, then your brain is immediately alerted to the fact that there might be something in the closet. No, but if I don't mention the fucking closet, then there's nothing in the closet. So if I don't mention the closet and then a demon hops out 40 minutes later, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And that's not a good twist. That's not how twists work.
So I agreed with everything up until you said the last sentence. Because that's right. That could be fine.
It is a twist. It is not a good twist.
Okay. And again, like, I think you're right. I think you're right with what Uzair said. You know, you can't, just because the POV, the main character doesn't see it coming, doesn't mean it's a good twist. Now, that can enhance and make it a better twist in some situations, but it has to work. Yeah. But it has to work. And I think with this twist in particular, Reiner and Bertolt. They have the worst fucking names.
Reiner and Bertolt.
They have the
especially since like Reiner's name is apparently like it's like Reiner or some shit. I'm like there's like extra letters at the end. I'm not saying it like that.
It can't be two hard names that I have to say like that quickly.
I'm not saying it like that. His name is Reiner. Fuck you. I don't care how it's actually pronounced.
The Bro Titans. I don't know. Whatever we'll call them, but they were bros. But anyways, no. But my point was just gonna be okay. I believe you on that. You know. You need more elements to make it a good twist. What does make it a good twist? Well, I think I do disagree with the concept of what you're saying about the closet, where I think in some situations you could totally be right in the sense that you can have twists that come out of basically nowhere that don't seem to serve really a great purpose, and I think most people would probably agree bad. You know, for those reasons. I think this twist, evidence, but not, what was the word you used? But not foreshadowing. I can agree with that. I think even without the evidence in this situation, it still makes it a good twist. Because, okay, Eren is super surprised. That alone doesn't make it, but I do think it helps. Because you're in the same situation. And then you could start to look back. You immediately start to look back and things start to make a little bit of sense. and then you immediately think about the future of the consequences of that, and the fact that basically it still checks out. The more you start to think about it, if you were to go back and watch the episodes, you would then discover the evidence. Now, you don't have to do that, but if you did, it would be there. And I think if you didn't do that, then you're already accepting the premise, and therefore the twist works. So I agree with what you're saying can make a twist bad. And I also agree that, you need, I think, more complementary elements to make a twist work. Like, if we're talking about, like, murder mysteries, like Scooby-Doo, right? One of the reasons that Scooby-Doo, by the way, actually, the twists work. Actually, Scooby-Doo's a fantastic example for this. Because one of my other arguments to what you're going to say is a lot of times what happens in Scooby-Doo is they do a really good job of providing, like, foreshadowing and evidence for every suspect throughout the course of the show. And to the point where you might be able to piece it together, but probably not. However, at the end, what do they do? Okay, the mask reveal. And then what happens? You get the explanation. You get an exposition dump from Velma usually. And maybe Fred's in there too. And it works. And I think that's basically what Attack on Titan shows. And it worked. And that's my main argument for it, I think, if you were to give it an analogy. Because it's a surprise almost every time with Scooby-Doo. Like, unless you're really locked in, I guess.
I think but the difference, though, is that in Scooby-Doo, even,
the
whole episode, every episode, the characters are actively talking about and trying to figure out who it is. So they're literally handing you clues as the audience member. That does not happen with the Bertolt and Reiner thing.
Yeah, but they give false, it's clues for each person, but none of them.
Yeah, but they're not. But there's
they're
not,
basically impossible to.
Yeah, but there's
discover
not,
if they're really.
There's not a huge push in the season or whatever of them trying to be like, oh, we need to find out who these guys are.
The analogy is not perfect.
Scooby-Doo, it's like they hand you all the clues, and there's just too many for you to put the puzzle together in 20 minutes. You're not smarter than that much information.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, like sometimes you'll figure it out.
But I think it's fine to have a twist.
I get okay
with minimal information.
I guess it's more like the shock value moment itself. I don't think is good, or I don't think is shocking in the way that the show wants it to be shocking, in the way that people react to it being shocking. Like,
I don't know. Like, it was shocking.
I don't have a problem with them being bad guys, and I like
sure.
I like the nature of the twist.
Yeah.
But I don't like the way it happens because of the fact that there was just bare bones amount of information, if any, about like that was even a chance of that happening. Like, you know what I mean? It's just,
I do know what you mean, yeah.
And like to use going back to the closet thing. Obviously, the closet metaphor is an extremely direct example. Like, obviously, I don't need it to be that specific.
Sure,
it's specifically like, hey, pay attention to the closet. But like the idea of that, where it's like, oh, I don't know, have just one scene where someone, for even like a background character, and it's like a throwaway line, and there's other stuff happening, just have someone be like, oh, well, I haven't seen Reiner in like 5 minutes, or whatever the case might be. Right. And then, even if it's just once, then it gives everybody, then when the reveal does happen, you'd be like,
you have an immediate connection.
You're like, that random bitch said that like 10 episodes ago, and no one even acknowledged it. That's crazy.
See, I get the point.
And then it feels better.
So you're saying, okay, when a twist has easily recallable, something, it's better.
I mean, always.
I don't think so.
Because that it creates an emotional reaction.
I agree.
It creates an emotional reaction of like,
maybe most,
like where you feel like betrayed by the narration itself, which is a good thing. Because not betrayed in like that like the author or whatever, or writer, undercut whatever they were going for, or whatever they were implying, but like betrayed in the sense of like you were trusting the story and the narration or whatever,
and what's been revealed to you up until this point.
So all the information you have, you're like, okay, I believe that this is the truth. And then it's just like, gotcha, bitch, with like some throwaway line from before. So then it's not just, oh, this crazy thing happened and I didn't see it coming. It's also like, damn, I didn't believe that it was going to happen, even though the story told me that it was going to happen subtly at some earlier point.
Yeah.
Which is why I like, and it, I mean, yeah. So
it usually makes for better
I just think
twists.
foreshadowing even just a tiny little bit would make it to where I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I think usually you're right in the sense that when you do have just a little bit, I do think there's a limit, and in my opinion, this is why it still works really well, and why if you do say the show has good twists, and I think there's at least a couple that you could say are pretty decent in the show, like 2 or 3, then you got to be willing to look at it with, I don't know, just a perspective of the foreshadowing I get. Probably you're right most of the time that if there is foreshadowing, usually the twist is on average going to be better. There's more of a visceral reaction from a viewer's perspective. I get it. I do think whenever you provide, let's say Attack on Titan provided no evidence. Let's just take the extreme example. Would a twist be good with no evidence? And I think most of the time, probably not. Probably it wouldn't be good. But I think you can do it, basically, with almost no evidence. But I think it has to be believable. You have to make it somewhat believable. And you could do that after the fact. And I think it's been done before. I'd have to probably think of a good example of, like, reveal after a twist with minimal information. But I think that's mainly why I don't have a problem with it, is because I'm okay with not having the immediate connection, just having the shock value, and then starting to think about, okay, maybe there's a couple things, I don't know, a couple things starting to make sense, whatever. I think the more information you provide objectively, the easier it is to guess the twist.
Sure.
And usually 0 is wrong in terms of the amount of information, and let's say most of the time it is, but
0 is always wrong.
I think
1
probably
could be acceptable.
But that's what I'm basically saying.
Yeah.
And I'm saying anything above 1 starts to become more acceptable.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think you reach an area where you can go with a minimal amount of information and then still outperform basically what the twist could be had it have been more information.
I mean, yeah,
it's possible.
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah,
I
think the show
don't think it works.
And you don't think
for
it
me.
does it. And I think that's the difference.
And I will say, I also at this point when I was watching the show, I was already not having a good time. Okay, because season 2 is very similar to season 1 as far as like the repetitiveness with the Titans and then just like running here and there and back and forth, and
the team is getting fucked.
Lose. It's like
Eren
does not stop crying.
I
It's
will
like
say,
freaking Midoriya in season 1 of fucking
Midoriya
My
was
Hero,
gonna be
bro.
the
Man
analogy I
never
gave.
stops crying, bro.
We got fucking Eren and Arm & Hammer. Those guys, man, they just all they do is complain, and I like the season.
But yeah, so like season 2, I was already like, I didn't really enjoy season 1 that much. And another big thing for me with this show was I watched it after, I don't think season 4 had come out at all yet. Mm-hmm. So, but season 1 through 3 were already, season 3 the first 3 seasons were definitely out. Season 4 may have already had started when I started watching it to begin with, but I don't think so.
Probably not.
Because I think I remember like looking forward to season 4 because season 3 was good.
Yeah.
And so I was so it was one of those things where everyone was like, oh, this is like the greatest thing that's ever fucking happened.
Yeah.
You should watch it. So then when I watched it and it wasn't the greatest thing that's ever happened, I was like, so that already was like kind of eating away at it for me.
And I agree with you with that. I don't think I really don't think it should be anyone's number 1 anime. I will say that because you just haven't watched enough. I haven't watched enough, and I still probably would not put, like I said, AOT in my top 3. I'd probably put it in my top 5. It's a great show.
Well, let's talk about top 5 anime after we're done talking about this.
Yeah. No, I think that's good.
Because I'm going to piss people off with that, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think we both will, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Because, I mean, we already, saying that Attack on Titan's not number 1 is already going to, like, alienate
I'm probably going to piss some people off, too, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So the show was already kind of, like, degrading for me just because I was like annoyed that people lied to me about it being like the best thing that's ever happened in the history of fiction. And then, my issues with season 1 bleed over into season 2, and then the reveal, and then like the fact that you could still see that they were building up towards the Titan reveal around the Reiner and Bertolt thing. So then when that happened, I was just like, I was annoyed by everything happening around that moment. and then I didn't like the way that the moment was executed, even though I do like Reiner and Bertolt as
spies,
as basically. Like fighting Titans or whatever.
Oh yeah, as Colossal and
yeah, sure. Like I like them as like Marleyan spies.
That narrative still works. Yeah,
that's cool
for you. Yeah,
and the fact and what they do with it later with them like being like villains for a little while and then like switching sides and everything. Well, I think Bertolt dies before they get to the switching sides part, but
but he would have probably presumably.
Yeah, but so it's like, so yeah. That was not helping. So there's probably a lot of extra like negative bias that's not pushing it down. That's not actually connected to the moment itself. Where I was just like, it was like it was the last straw. It was
like literally the last straw.
I was like, man, fuck this show. and then like the episode after that is when they reveal the Titans, and I was like, I remember this so specifically too. When I watched,
you were texting me about it.
When I watched the episode when they revealed the Titan thing, I literally like paused it before the episode ended, and I didn't watch that show for like 5 weeks. I was like, I need a break. I was like, I can't handle this right now.
That's crazy.
But yeah, season 3 is fucking fire.
Oh yeah.
Biggest reason is because they switched it from being like run away from monsters thing that's dumb to like extremely
both sides fighting an extremely
condensed political like geopolitical fucking war. And that
everyone
shit was
fighting on all
so
sides.
good. It was so good. And then obviously the ending where what's her face becomes queen or some shit, and then Eren gets like his full powers, but you don't know that he got his full powers yet. And then like at the beginning of season 4, he's just like, oh yeah, I saw the fucking entire timeline, and I'm a god now. And it's just like, shit.
We already lost. Yeah, the crazy part of season 4, especially the beginning, is just like you start the show and you're like, I don't see how they could win immediately. You're immediately like, the show's over. Why am I even watching
You're
this?
Like, they're fucked. And then Eren's like, well, actually,
well,
I can see the future and the past, and I created myself because I'm actually a fucking time god.
Yeah.
And yeah, so season 3, I don't feel like we really need to get super into it. Like season 3, they got away from the Titan battles, which you know what it reminds me of actually is. It's one of these things where like, because I like Power Rangers obviously. I've talked about it a lot.
Oh yeah.
But like, the Megazord fights in Power Rangers are such a fucking waste of screen time. Holy shit, it's so dumb. Like okay, not every time. Like when they save the Megazord fights for like big impactful like beginning of season, end of season, like the world's about to end. That's what I assume they should use it for. But it's every episode. Because it's part of the formula.
Yeah.
It's like when they defeat the bad guy turns huge, they get in the Megazord, they kill the bad guy again.
Oh my god.
It's every single time. In most seasons of Power Rangers, that's how it works. Like there's some seasons where they're a little bit like less like abusive of the like using the Megazords every fucking episode. But most of the time, that's how it works, and and I'm like, fine, because it's just the way it is. It's the formula of the franchise, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
That's how the Titan battles begin to feel to me after like episode 3 of the whole show. I was like, I don't care anymore because they weren't different at all. It was the Titan fights happen the exact same way. There's the speech, they lose, they go home, they try again the next day, they lose. It's just.
But I think it served like a clear purpose.
I mean, Megazord fights serve a clear purpose too. That's not the point. The point is not that it serves a purpose.
I think it's a decent. I think it's a better purpose than Power Rangers.
I guess, but like, but that's not the issue. My issue with it isn't that it doesn't serve a purpose. My issue is that it's just not entertaining if you keep doing it over and over and over and over again. And then season 3, that just doesn't happen at all.
How do you avoid that though? How do you avoid? They have to fight each other.
I mean, I know, but it's like asking how can you avoid it in Power Rangers? You can't. It's part of how the show works.
But they didn't. But okay, I guess so.
It's the same problem. I'm not saying there's like an easy solution to it. But season 3
but at least did it.
Season 3 was like, we're just not gonna really do that this season. Yeah. We're gonna have it be a war against 2 conscious political factions.
Right.
I don't know if it was just 2. I can't remember specifically. But whatever, 2, 3, whatever. It was a bunch of humans fighting each other, and doing a whole bunch of geopolitical fucking drama and shit like that. And the Titans, other than like the ones that were power ups for actual people, didn't play a huge role in season 3, other than being kind of in the way here and there.
Well, the Titans were an issue that was not going to be an issue forever, just based on like the progression of the show, like for the main characters.
And season 4 also, the nameless Titans, also not a thing. I mean, like, obviously they exist, but they're not relevant to the plot outside of the fact that Eren can control them.
Yeah,
and that's so it's not the same as like season 1 and 2, where they're not being controlled by, even though they are being controlled by Eren technically, but like the fact that they're not being controlled by anyone, it's just like random creatures they keep running into every fucking 5 minutes, and it's just like, holy shit, dude, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
that's a big part for me why season 3 was so good, because I was like, 2 or 3 episodes in, and I was like, what's crazy is I don't remember the last time I saw a Titan. I love this right now.
But it's no reason for them to fight him anymore.
I mean, yeah,
at that point,
which is like that's why it's gone. So that's the solution, though, right? It's like you're saying, like, what are you supposed to do about that? What they did, where they were like, oh, we don't need to fight these.
But like, at the time, though, they couldn't do that.
Well, yeah, I know. But then they got rid of them. And
like, they had to get their asses handed to them.
I know, but my point, though, is that once they got rid of the Titans, the show immediately became like 8,000 times better.
I mean, that's true.
And it's because it was a repetitive. It just wasn't good. And yeah, so season 3 is great.
Yeah.
And then season 4, the first 10 episodes, whatever, are pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, they're really great.
They're great. Awesome.
I don't know why I said pretty solid.
Yeah, I was going to say they're sick.
Like every episode,
everything that was happening, every episode.
When they go to the city and Eren like fucking bursts out the floor and kills everyone in the whole city, and it's just like, this is tough.
Fuck.
It's like I like this.
Shit.
This is great.
Yeah, setting the stakes and like setting the threats, insane. And they just do a great job. And I think everyone thinks that. So. But, after 10 episodes...
Now, the problem is, here's the thing. I hate the second half of season 4. I think it's technically like 3 parts, but whatever. Everything after...
It's like movies.
Okay, the episode where he becomes the Founding Titan, or like gains the Founding Titan's powers, and turns into the giant skeleton-looking thing.
Yeah. And
Gabby, like, shoots his head off.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last good episode. Because
that's crazy.
I hate the rest of season 4 more than I hate the first 2 seasons.
I know that.
More than everything combined that I hate from the first 2 seasons, I hate season 4.
I believe that.
So the reason that it's complicated. Okay. Well, the one
that complicated.
Okay, let me talk about the ending first, because the ending is
that's the more straightforward part.
Yeah, and that's actually. So when you were talking about it earlier, and you were saying that the way the show needed to end was with him losing, or with
like
him
if
dying.
you just asked like how
you said with him dying is what
Correct.
you said.
Yeah.
I agree that he should die at the end.
Okay.
But
I remember you explaining it that way.
I agree that he. I agree. Okay. I would have liked for him to just win. Right?
Yeah. I would have been cool. It would have been interesting.
But I
understand
understand having him die and having him lose. My issue with it is that he loses because he gives up.
Okay.
And that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because every single episode of the entire show, from the very first sentence that Eren utters, other than his opening narration, he's like, I'm gonna find everyone and everything that had anything to do with my mother's death and kill them all. And he says that almost every single episode.
They do try to talk him down frequently.
Every episode, he's like, that's my plan. And when I gain the power to enact that plan, that's what I'm going to do. And everyone's just like, all right, Eren, whatever you say, bro. And then he gets the power to do it and starts doing it. And it's like, and then, the fact that at the very end, he gets talked down and then he lets them kill him. It's just like, why? That doesn't make any sense. The whole, for him specifically, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, if they somehow circumvented his like future sight powers or whatever, and then killed him and they won, I'd be like, fine. If they had explained that there was some way around it,
sure.
But there wasn't, because they're very clear about the fact that he knows exactly how everything's gonna play out.
Yeah. They say it a million times.
And there's nothing anybody can do about it. So the fact that they beat him means that he let them beat him, which means that he goes back on his whole promise from the entire show. And
But that wasn't the only promise, and there were more important, and the most important promise of that show is what he says at the final end with his friends. I want to keep my I guarantee you, if you ask Eren which one's more important, it would be close, but I think he would say his friend.
But then it just makes it just makes him seem,
and it's Mikasa.
I know.
It has to be.
It makes him seem it
so... It makes
him seem, like, weak and indecisive.
But it's Mikasa, of course.
Because he gets to this point where it's like, you've already started the march. And you've already killed a bunch of people. Oh,
sure.
And then you're like...
He's super far gone.
And then you're like, you know what? I feel bad. I'm going to let you guys kill me.
I agree. It's
just dumb. Like,
he's far gone.
They should have just had him... Don't have him... Don't heel turn the show and be like, oh, Eren's the... Especially with the way they did it where... the perspective changes, right? Like, after that episode where he becomes the founding titan, you don't follow Eren anymore. You're following the friend group, and it's not about what's in Eren's head or what he wants or what he's doing. It's about the friend group turning against him.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're going to do that, you're going to heel turn and be like, okay, he's not the protagonist anymore. He's now the antagonist, and we have to kill him. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. But...
it was established early.
Commit to him being the antagonist.
Yeah.
By making him commit to his fucking plan. If you're gonna, like...
But so many antagonist shit ends with
I don't care.
That way.
I don't care. His plan is so ridiculously, like, violent for like...
It doesn't matter. I don't think that matters.
For such a specific... Well, like, what I'm saying is, like, it's so, like, specifically violent for such a specific reason.
I think you have to entertain the possibility he could change his mind.
Anyone can change their mind, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like... emotionally earned, and I think the problem is the fact that they switched perspectives, because it's like, if you had stayed with Eren and you had seen how he felt about the march and like everything that was going on, and then like Mikasa and the others come and they're trying to kill him, and then he's like, damn, I don't actually want to kill my friends, so I'm gonna give up.
But I think that's why they focused on the friends.
Yeah, but
you're basically saying this is why you're saving them, is everything they do up until that point. I mean, they're just like fighting, they're saving each other, they're sacrificing their own lives.
Yeah, but the perspective change makes it you don't get that information from Eren's head until the very end. And by then I was like already checked out. It was way too late. And I disagree with the fucking I fundamentally disagree with, like, I don't care that it's his friends, because...
But that is like an anime sin.
It doesn't matter, though. His core motivation for the whole show...
No, you can't say... But you can't say that...
No. Okay. His core motivation. I'm not saying he didn't get other shit as the show progressed, but the thing that he... Like, the very first thing he says, who he is and his entire purpose for continuing to, like, keep fighting was to enact his plan of killing everyone that was involved with his mother's death. Like, that was all he wanted. Always. And then you don't follow him after he turns evil.
Yeah.
And then in the 11th hour, he's like, oh yeah, I don't need to do that anymore, so I'm going to let you guys beat me. And that's stupid. But what's more dumb than that, because but again, I don't have a problem with him dying or losing. I have a problem with the way that he loses, because I don't like him giving up. That's lame. That's not cool. And...
But you realize why it can work.
I mean, giving up. It's a character arc. I can see. But yes, it would have.
It's
worked.
The final.
It would have worked if you stayed with him.
I don't know, because you're just gonna see him wreck shit. I don't think he's gonna think about his friends that much.
No, but I'm not saying that he's thinking about his friends the whole time. I'm saying
or at all.
You see how he feels about all the fucking billions of people he's killing. So it's like,
I don't think he gives a shit.
Yeah, but he clearly cares. He doesn't. It's not indifference murder. He's killing them because they killed his mom.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So it's like,
angry. Well,
so you see, I'm saying, if you stay with him, not like entirely with him, like you can jump back and forth, but it's the fact that they completely shift, and then you don't see what's happening to Eren at all for like the rest of the show until they go fight him. And it's like, if you stay with Eren even just a little bit, so you show progressively like him thinking about like, damn, I'm killing a lot of people, and then like maybe as he's marching, you show like, I don't know, like a fucking playground with a bunch of dead kids or something like that, and like I
thought they did cut to him a couple times.
I mean, but just like, out here,
walking,
like, out here, background shot walking, not in his head of like what he's actually thinking. I'm saying, you're right. I don't care. I don't need to watch him stomp on people. That's fucking boring.
Yeah.
But like, they should have cut to what was in his head so you could see some sort of like degradation of his core purpose over however many weeks or whatever when he was doing
but I don't even think there was much of a degradation. I think my argument would be I don't think there really was much of a degradation in his purpose.
I don't think there was either. I'm saying like even if there's just a little tiny crack in it to where you can say that when his friends get there at the end that it's not like a sudden snap judgment thing, then it's fine. But the fact that you don't... And you could argue, like, oh, well, because of his whole time travel thing, he already knew that was going to happen anyway, so it wasn't a snap judgment thing. Yeah, that does make it weird.
I don't really know how to think about that, honestly.
But that's not how emotions work in fiction. You can't say, like, oh, he knows the entire timeline, so he already knows that he's going to give up in the future. Yeah, so it means he already had the conversation in his own head.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that.
So it's like, but you can't use that as an explanation, because that's not how emotions work in fiction.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Or in real life, or anything, But anyway, the ending itself is less of my
But him giving up.
Him giving up is dumb. I don't like it. But that's not actually my biggest problem with season 4.
Okay.
My biggest problem with season 4 is the fact that they try to make Marley seem like they deserve mercy. When the entire show... I mean,
he's just murdering innocent people.
Yeah, the entire show, that nation, is very, very, very clearly a metaphor for Nazis. I mean...
Something like that, yeah, basically.
The fucking... The Eldians that live there wear the fucking armbands that identify them as Eldian.
Right, yeah.
And, like, Jew, whatever. I'm like... it's like... And then... And, like, I think...
it's very clear.
I think the episode right after... when he turns into Founding Titan is the episode when, like, the one Marleyan general or whatever that used to command the attack, not the attack Titan, the Fighting Titan, like, unit.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like when Reiner and Bertolt and all them were recruited and stuff like that. Like, he used to command those kids and forced them to, like, take in the Titan powers and stuff like that. And there's an episode earlier on in, like, season 2 or 3 or something like that when you see one of the battles that they're in, and he sends some kid out in one of the many different Titan forms, and he's like, "Oh yeah, go fight and die for Marley because that's all you're good for."
Right.
And then someone says something about like, "Oh, what if he dies?" And the guy's like, "I don't give a shit. We'll just replace him."
Yeah.
And then in season 4, that guy comes back after Mikasa and Armin and all the others are like, "Oh, we have to stop Eren because he's gonna kill everybody on Earth."
Yeah.
They meet up with that guy. And they're sitting around like a campfire or something, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I always felt badly about like making the kids become Titan warriors and stuff like that." And I'm like, "No, you didn't. You're fucking lying." I watched the earlier seasons. You're an asshole. And then so that's like that, and that was I didn't watch the rest of season 4 for like a really, really long time after that episode because I was like, this is fucking stupid. I was like, you can't take Marley and then make them sympathetic at the end when they're literally Nazis and they have been the whole time, especially when you're gonna use a character that you've shown being completely immoral and uncaring toward the Eldians the entire time. And I'm like, this guy's your mortal enemy, and if you weren't in this specific situation, he would gladly kill all of you because he thinks you're an inferior race, and or a dangerous race or whatever their opinion is on the whole Eldian thing.
Yeah, I forget exactly.
But it's like I think that's what I think it was, because it's like the Eldians are like the chosen ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're the ones that can control the Titan powers. So like the rest of the world was like, well, we got to kill all them.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was what really pissed me off, is when Mikasa and the others. Not only do they turn on Eren, which is dumb, because even if you like argue that, because obviously killing like 7 billion people is bad.
Sure, I think we can agree on that.
But if like Eren's plan to wipe out everything except for Eldia would have resulted in exactly what they had been not exactly what they had been fighting for, but like it would have accomplished the main goal
one of their bigger
the good
goals,
guys for the entire show, which was to eliminate all threats to Eldia and be able to live in peace. And it's like, if you let Eren do his thing, then that's what you get. So
yeah, but they were never gonna let him.
I understand that they can't like.
But they were never going to.
That they can't let him do that.
That was never gonna happen.
But it's a big part of like the fact that so many of the Eldians are still on board with it, though. Not obviously Aaron's friend group turns on him, but like the rest of Eldio was like, "Go get him, bro." Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't remember that.
I mean, the Jaegers thing. The whole army was still on his side. They were like, "Go kill everybody. We'll be waiting for you to get home." And Aaron was like, "Bet." And then it was literally Mikas's group, and then they go join up with the Marleyans, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you guys aren't that bad." And I'm like, "They're actually Nazis, but okay, sure, whatever."
Well, initially they're fighting for him, and then they just really can't do that. Obviously, once they realize his intentions.
Yes. But
I think that's fine.
Which them turning because they can't support mass genocide on like billions upon billions of people. That makes sense. But it's the fact that they like, I don't know, trade Aaron in for the Marleyans when the Marleyans are the people that like got them in the situation to begin with, and they've been depicted as completely irredeemable.
For the most part, yeah.
The entire show, because the fact that they're literally a Nazi Jew metaphor.
But it's just like a common enemy situation at that point.
Yeah, but that's not how they handle it though, because of the whole thing when they're at the campfire thing, and it's the Marley guy and then multiple other like Marleyan soldiers, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, we feel really badly about all that," and I'm like, "You're literally lying." I'm like, "That's not," but the show isn't like. I mean, in real life, it's I think it's like that's a retcon. That's fucking wrong. But like,
I don't know. I think okay. Let's take the Nazis as an example.
In the context of the show wants you to think that they actually felt bad about it back then, and I'm like,
well, they didn't. I don't know. I don't know about that.
But that's how they treat those characters, though. I'm saying,
but I think a couple of them could be like. I think you can make the argument that, like, you go to Nazi Germany.
Sure,
there's a bunch of the people.
There were a lot of Nazis
perfectly redeemable, basically just faking it till they make it, right?
Right. Yes. But still.
And you could argue that was exactly what happened to them.
Yeah, but they show specific scenes of them being merciless when no one's like holding them accountable. I don't think
merciless. I don't think there's a lot of that.
No, I'm not saying there's a lot of it, but they specifically take time out of the show to go.
Well, they villainize them first, yeah.
But I'm saying, they take specific time out of the show to give you like character specific moments with that general guy specifically, showing that he is evil and doesn't care, and he's not performing that for anybody. There's higher up. There's no higher up or like other Marleyans around him that are like making sure that he's being racist towards the Eldians. Yeah, he's just doing it because he's a bad person.
Sure,
and so later
doesn't mean irredeemable though.
But the way that they do it is...
He's a dick, yeah,
the way they do it doesn't make sense, though. Because he just apologizes when he needs to, because he now has an enemy he can't beat. That's what it feels like. But the show is trying to be like, oh yeah, he actually feels bad and wants to make right by it or whatever. And I'm like, I don't believe you at all. Because that's not what happened earlier in the show when you showed this guy's motivation and his character. And he's not like he's evil. And now you're just like, oh yeah, no, he's not actually evil. He was just sad or some shit. And I'm like, that's stupid.
I mean, I think you can interpret it that way, and I think like that is possible. When I looked at that happening, I just looked at it as there are situations where you can make a heel turn like that. Where, I mean, the situation, especially how ridiculous it was, I mean, it's just like a wake-up call. It's like, what the fuck was I mean, maybe. Type of thing. I agree that that's like less clean for sure.
I think it just.
But that's what I thought.
It leaves the taste of like he's only switching sides because he has to. Like he's only apologizing because he knows without their help, Aaron's just gonna kill everybody.
I think that you could interpret it
that
way.
And that's. But I mean, even if you tried, like. Even if you interpret it the other way, it's just really hard to accept that that's true when the very first time he shows any remorse is when he has no other choice but to show remorse.
I mean, you're right. I don't think it's possible, though. And I think...
But I don't think it's executed well in defense of being possible for him to actually feel remorse.
Yeah, I mean, for someone like that, if they wanted to do it, if you think of shows that have done that well, like, I almost want to say like Andor, where it's like... bad person does bad things, you show them being a bad person, but also, you show a little something, whatever, just a tiny bit
like
of something.
Humanity.
Yeah. Not even like that good, maybe, but just like the fact that you could have done something worse, maybe.
Sure.
And like, then the story continues and everything plays out the way it is. Like, I agree that's probably better.
Yeah. So I mean that.
So okay,
that's pretty much it.
That's a small. I think the grand scheme of things is kind of small.
But it's the fact that it's that combined with the heel turn of his friends, combined with the show itself heel turning to where Aaron's no longer the main focus or the protagonist of the show, and it's like all that happens in the same episode. And I was like, the Nazi being a good guy is dumb, and Mikas's friends being okay with being friends with the Nazi is dumb, and Aaron not being the main character anymore is dumb, and it was just everything happens at once. Like if they had like dragged it out a little bit, maybe it wouldn't have been as annoying. But
it's mostly, I'll say, that all those things did happen, but like all of them were good. Almost all of them, you could interpret as positive. Also, I think that's like how most people interpreted it. All those things happening, even though they were at the same time, that it still works. Now I do understand a lot of what you're saying. I just think the way it played out, I didn't feel those feelings. I watched the show. I went in when the Reinhardt and Bertolt thing. I was shocked. I didn't have a moment where I thought, oh, that's that. Like, oh, I didn't have like a eureka moment where I'm like, oh my god, that time that they, he was peeing. Like, oh my god, he's the Colossal Titan.
I mean, I can see the scene in my head when I can't remember who the other guy was because he dies in the scene, but like, I can see the scene in my head where Bertolt and one of the other guys are going out to face the Armor Titan or something like that. And then it cuts away for a second, and then the next time you see the other guy, he's getting like chomped by the Colossal Titan.
Yeah.
And you just assume that Bertolt got, like knocked fucking 5 miles somewhere.
Right.
And then Bertolt does show up later, and he's like, oh, I got knocked out during the fight.
Correct.
And I remember that specifically, and that might be the only time where they
give you something.
Directly, we're like,
like there was a good consistency potentially here. Yeah.
They were together.
Bertolt did look. I think you could make this argument that like
Bertolt does look suspicious
in
once
the show.
Or twice.
In the show, at least a couple times he looks. But you don't know. You don't know what it is. But he looks suspicious.
That time though, I think is the only real one you could point to where it's like you see them. You see.
There's another weird one that I remember
and him together, and then the Colossal Titan. The next scene you see the other guy. Bertolt's not there. Colossal Titan's there. Colossal Titan eats the other guy before he can say anything. Because I think they reveal later that guy literally, the second they were alone, transformed, and the other guy was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they both. I think they revealed that themselves.
Yeah. And so like that's the only one that I specifically remember. So I mean, that one kind of worked. What I think a little bit of it too was with that reveal was. I for whatever reason, it kind of bothered me that they did 2 characters at once.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, what, it's
like just, the double.
It was like, oh, Bertolt's evil, and it's like, oh, Reiner's also evil.
Well, that's the thing, too, is right, is like, like we just said, I think you could point to 1 or 2, probably not more, but 1 or 2 things with Bertolt, but almost nothing with Reiner.
Oh, yeah, Reiner's
which is why...
That man was chill as hell.
I believe how it plays out, too, is that you see Bertolt first. I believe they reveal Bertolt, and then immediately after Reiner.
Yeah, he turns first,
So, like, when Bertolt happens, you're like, oh my god, but, like, there's a part of you that's like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. And then when it's Reiner, you're like, because you think Reiner's going to be surprised, and then you get the immediate punch in the face that he's the Armored Titan.
Yeah.
And you're like... And then... That's why. Well, I mean, that's not a why, but I thoroughly enjoy that moment.
I mean that twist for me, it's really not one of like. I know it makes it sound like
it's not your big problem with
it, but like it was like an isolated thing that was suffering from my dislike of the season around it.
Yeah,
and it's not really that I have a problem with what happened as much as how it happened.
Yeah, how it happened. Yeah.
Like,
the twist itself, yeah.
And the aftermath of it is still cool, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think that about covers it for me, though.
Yeah, for
Attack on Titan.
Yeah. Yeah, so what you said we're going to rank animes?
Oh, yeah, we can do that, yeah. Top 5 anime?
Yeah, I guess I should probably go first, or maybe we should go back and forth.
Okay.
You want to do top 5?
Yeah, we'll do top 5. Okay. We'll go back and forth. We'll do.
Yeah.
You want to do like 5 to 5 or 5 to 1?
Yeah, 5 to 1 probably makes more sense.
I want to say like one that I would put at 1, but I'm not going to because it's like American anime. Okay, well first of all, do we want to count like?
Yes.
All anime?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind. This because my number 1's easy for me.
Yeah. Right. Or you mean like traditional anime versus?
Well, it's like technically it's anime, but it's like made. It was like American produced or whatever. It's like it was never
like I'll be like like Invincible, for example. I would include Invincible. I think Invincible's American.
That's not anime, bro. It's a cartoon.
But I think it's anime. It's anime adjacent.
Nah, Invincible does not count. That's a cartoon.
I don't know. I don't know. It's anime adjacent for me.
See, we can't be doing
I don't think I put it in my... to be fair, I don't even know if I put it in my lists, but I think it would qualify to be under those lists if you did think it was, like...
Alright, how about this? We each get one, like, on the fence
non-traditional...
If necessary, we can get one on the fence one.
Okay, fine. Alright, so the rule should be top 5 traditional animes.
Sure.
You
something... It doesn't have to necessarily be, like, purely traditional, but like if it's like something you look at and you're immediately like that's fucking anime.
Yeah.
Even if it's not necessarily like Japanese.
No, but wait a second. Invincible has like a comic.
Yeah, a comic book, an American comic book.
Yeah, but like
it's just a TV show.
But you realize it's
like
the same
Justice
analogy.
League show. No, it's not. It's like the Justice League show.
No, but it's different because the Justice League show doesn't follow it perfectly.
No, I mean the Justice League show is its own universe. Yeah.
Right. But so this is different. This is a direct adaptation.
The Invincible show
just like anime is.
But that's not how that works.
It is how that works.
No, it isn't.
Japanese
manga.
It's
like saying Harry Potter is a fucking anime because it's the
whoa.
Just because it's a comic book.
It's not animated. Obviously, it's not anime.
It's not manga. Anime has to be.
That's the anime number 1, and it has to be a derivative of something like a manga.
Still, we're only one on the fence one.
Okay, fine.
You know what? Fuck it. Fine. We'll just do whatever.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, I wouldn't put, I'm not gonna put Teen Titans on this list, you know?
Yeah, superhero
like,
shows, no.
Yeah, but like,
I would just say
it was adapted from something like
if it's
directly, direct adaptations.
Okay, sure.
From that.
So caveat,
I don't think
anime, and direct adaptations of comic books.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Which is not manga.
Yeah.
So.
Not manga, but like American manga.
Yeah.
That works for me. Okay. So top 5, I don't know. This is going to be tough. Before listing anything, I'm just going to try to think out loud with what my favorite shows are.
I think I have my number 5.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I like My Hero a lot. I've heard it's gotten better. So, it's tough for me because I'm in a situation where I haven't seen the good seasons.
I'm rewatching it. I texted you. I was rewatching
it.
Yeah. I'm like at the beginning of season 3. First of all.
The festival shit, man. Oh, my God.
Dude, the first 2 seasons...
I was so upset at it.
Dude. Well, okay. What were you upset about with the festival?
The existence of it?
Oh, just that it goes on a really long time.
It wastes so much of my time.
It goes on a really long time.
First show, it's already slow as fuck.
It does go on a really long time. But I will say, like, the final, 4 fights are pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, agreed. I won't disagree with that at all.
It's like 12 episodes, though.
No, it's ridiculous. Yeah. The fights are great. I agree. But everything else sucks.
But the fights are only, the last...
No, I know. They're, last, 2-3 episodes, not even?
4 episodes, maybe?
I don't know if it's even that many.
I think it's 4, but, one of them is, it's like a speed run fight. So it's episode... It's there's one episode where it's Shoto and Midoriya fighting, and Shoto wins. Mm-hmm. And then there's the next episode, it's, Ida's fight and... Red Riot's fight, and I don't think he was in the tournament at that point, but it's 5 fights in one episode real fast. And then it's Uraraka and Bakugo, and then it's Shoto and Bakugo.
Yeah.
Those are the final 4 episodes of that arc.
Yeah.
So, but all the cool fights are at the very end, and the first 8 episodes are the rest of the tournament, and it's just kind of
it's terrible. Well, there's so many episodes with no fighting.
Yeah, the fucking chariot fight thing. I don't know if you remember it, but they had to sit on each other. They had to piggyback ride.
Oh yeah,
fight. That shit was so dumb.
That was fucking stupid as shit.
That whole fight makes no sense, especially because the way that they do the scoring is they're oh yeah, so each person's has a headband that's worth a certain amount of points based on their ranking in the previous challenge.
That's right.
Except for Midoriya, he's in first, so he's got headband worth like 10 million points, and the most points you can get combined with all the other headbands is like 800 points. So there's literally no value to anyone's headband except for Midoriya's, and I was like, that's dumb. I'm like from a writing standpoint,
they shouldn't have made the
I'm like make his worth 1,000 so that it's still or like or like 2,000 or something. Like make it to where
everything else is like 100 or 500 or whatever.
You have to make it like, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like how the snitch is fucking stupid. And
why are you guys even playing? Just catch the snitch, brother.
Yeah, how it's like the snitch should be worth like 30 points because then
no. The snitch can be worth 100.
No. Because they don't score fast enough 90% of the time.
Yeah, they do.
It's 10 points per quaffle going through the ball.
Yeah.
They almost never score more than 200 points in a game, bro.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Including catching the snitch.
Well, okay, first of all, in most cases, they're going to score...
First of all, nothing.
They're going to score, let's say, like, between 30 and, like... 100 with quaffles alone. I think having the snitch be 100 is good.
No. I'm saying yes, but it's never like outscored that much. My point is the snitch should be worth like 30 points.
30 is too little.
No, it's not. So that when the snitch comes into play, or like when they see the snitch, so it becomes like a communication strategy instead of the snitch just being like it's 150 points and it ends the game. It just comes out of nowhere, and then Harry and fucking Draco are both chasing the damn thing, and it's like okay, whoever gets it first just wins automatically 99% of the time, because the only way that catching the snitch would make a difference is if a team was behind by 150 or 140 points or whatever.
Yeah.
And then their guy caught the snitch and went up by 10 points or 20 points or whatever and won. Yeah. So it should be worth 30.
30's too little though.
No, it should be worth 30. Because it's enough to where, like, scoring 3 times, it takes a minute, right?
But the matches are too long.
Let me finish.
Okay, fine. You're
Scoring 3 times takes a minute.
Okay.
So sure. like it takes a while to fly.
Yeah, it'll be 15 minutes maybe. Who knows?
So you make the snitch worth 30. That way, when the snitch comes into play,
it's more strategic. You're not going for it at once.
Right, yeah. So it's like you might not necessarily chase it right away.
But what if the other team just runs and grabs it then? Then you're fucked.
It doesn't matter, because then you could outscore the team naturally. So like if you're outscoring it, say.
But you're behind in this scenario.
No.
Right?
But I'm saying, like, say that your team is winning, right? Like
say we're winning. Then we want the snitch.
Say it's 50-20. Okay. Yeah. Then you say go get the snitch to end the game.
Right.
Where the other team would not try to be getting the snitch, but they might go after the snitch to prevent you from getting it. So it becomes
right, exactly.
But so it makes
there's no strategy if you just got to prevent me from getting the snitch.
Yeah, there is. I just knock you off your fucking broom. There's no rules against that.
Okay, right.
But
it doesn't change the game that much.
No, but I mean, it doesn't. That's the point. Is like the snitch, catching the snitch just is an auto win 99% of the time.
Right. It should be 150 points.
It should
definitely should not be 150
points. It should be to where, like, catching the snitch could be used just to end the game. Like, say you get... Well, actually, yeah. Like, say you get up, by 10 points, but you're struggling or whatever. Or, like, the keeper gets knocked out. Let's say that happens. Like, say it's, like, 30-30.
30 points, but it ends the game.
30-30, your keeper gets knocked out of the game, and now you're like, I've got 10 minutes to get the snitch, or we're going to get scored on 4 times, and we're never going to catch up.
Right.
So then the 30 points thing becomes more of like it's not like a guaranteed win.
Right.
But it still will make you win if you have it at the right moment. So instead of the snitch just being like, you win automatically unless you're getting absolutely fucking folded by some other team, which doesn't happen. Then it makes... It doesn't... I mean, it could be more than 30. Fine. Whatever. Like, it could be 50, 60 points, whatever.
Yeah. I think it should be, like, somewhere... It should be 150. That's definitely... I don't think... I think... I don't know if you want to call it, woman's intuition, but, it doesn't make sense for a sport.
JK didn't play sports growing up.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. It makes no sense. You're basically just creating a way to basically say, I need you to understand that Harry Potter is not just Tom Brady and Cristiano Ronaldo. Harry Potter is also literally just going to win every game.
Yeah.
Like, by himself. And he's the most important position as well. And it can just single-handedly win your team games. I think, though, with the snitch, okay, that makes sense. But it could be, I would want it to be like 80.
Okay, fine.
Like something like that.
We've gotten wildly off topic.
On the higher, you're right, you're really off topic, yeah.
The point is that My Hero's really good, actually, early on. Because other than like the beginning of the tournament thingy, the festival.
Yeah.
Season 1's actually really good, and then season 2 is really good. Other than the first like 8-ish episodes, or the festival's not even bad really. If that's sliding back on you, you could just put it like if you put one wheel up on the carpet, then that'll stop happening.
Yeah, fair enough.
But because this room's like on a hill. That
I
way.
see. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean the season 2 is really good though. Outside of like
I still agree with that. Yeah,
and
I still agree with that.
And I it was funny because it was there. He was gonna tell me like how it ends because I guess like how it ends it's got like a stupid ending, like some Death Note level stupid.
Okay, well that's a controversial opinion.
No,
so
it's not. Death Note's ending is garbage, bro. Look, you know what's crazy? I've actually seen a lot of people more recently talking about how like after what's the first one's name?
What do you mean first one?
The first
L?
investigator, L, yeah. After L dies, it's just like fucking garbage.
That is an opinion, yeah.
Anyway.
People, I've seen that before too.
That's
not completely wrong either. I don't
not.
disagree with that. I don't disagree with that either.
Death Note.
But it ends perfect. Anyway.
But apparently it's got like a really controversial ending. But in this case, unlike talking about like Attack on Titan's ending or Death Note or whatever, apparently everyone agrees that the My Hero ending manga is fucking stupid.
So they're hoping it changes?
Well, they did, because that show's over. But they ended it way earlier.
My Hero's over?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the last one?
Yeah. Season 8's the end.
Oh, I didn't... Wait, Season 8?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Season 5 was my last one? Fuck.
Yeah, that's probably right. That seems right. I think that was the last.
I think I
watched a couple episodes of Season 6.
That's when they have, like, the other fucking festival or whatever, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's super bad, which is why I stopped watching. But anyways.
Yeah. Season 6 is great, though. Anyway, but apparently, like, the changes, basically that, and that was part of the reason why they did it, is they were like, they ended the show earlier in the timeline, but it's not like it got canceled or anything. They just changed where they were going to end it. So, like, the show's ending is technically, like, still in the middle of the manga's story, but
it's a more
the
appropriate
show
ending.
tells it as if this is it. There's nothing after this. And apparently everyone agrees that the show's ending is way better than the manga, and like does it more justice because of like it avoids whatever.
I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about My Hero since season 5 ended.
Season 6, 7, and 8 are like all like fucking like 9.2s, bro.
Really?
It's crazy. Like
I'm gonna
maybe I don't think they're all that high, but there's a lot.
I mean, there's a couple that
like
high.
They're
I
like
would be
all
surprised.
high 8s and 9s. I'm pretty sure. Like the whole thing. Let's see.
Try not to.
Oh yeah, don't read anything. That shit is spoiler city, bro. I almost spoiled like everything.
Yeah, I haven't been spoiled for a lot. Yeah, it is over. Wow.
Yeah, season 6, not a single. Okay, there's one episode below an 8.
Wow.
And season 7.
Top rated is season 8. Okay, I'm not reading anything, but yeah, a lot of top.
Season 7, there's only 3 episodes below an 8.
Holy shit.
And season 8 is like season 8, not a single episode below a 9.
No, they're 8s. They're 8s.
No,
I was
on
IMDb. I was looking at IMDb, and it was like the highest. Or maybe I misread it anyway. I mean, I believe it looks good.
Either way, it's like 8.
I'm watching that next.
Yeah, no,
Shit.
So apparently the last 3 seasons just popped the fuck off.
Okay, that's good because I was super disappointed with season 5.
Yeah.
Besides Endeavor.
Anyway, top 5s.
Oh yeah.
5 first. You go.
Okay. Yeah. So top 5 animes. Yeah, I wanted to brainstorm like what I'd have up there, and then try and order them, and come to a 5. Let me. Well, I can always consult my list of shows that I watch. One for me, I think is probably gonna be easy. 1, 2, 3. Let's look at all my shows that I've watched. Let's see. There's a bunch I haven't seen, but I think it would be a waste of time just to say all the shows I haven't seen. Let's see. So, I mean, so far, do we want to do shows that are finished or are still going?
Either one.
Either one.
Finished is probably a safer bet, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be funny to pick one that's not finished because then it could age poorly.
Yeah. Let's start with Attack on Titan. I'd probably put Attack on Titan at 4 or 5.
Oof.
Probably like 4 or 5, I think. Ooh, Mob Psycho. Okay. Yeah, Mob Psycho is gonna be. Let's say for now. Let me think about how much I like these shows. Ooh. Yeah, let's go Mob Psycho 5, Attack on Titan 4. So far, I really like Jujutsu Kaisen, but it's pretty early. I'm going to have one kind of out of nowhere here.
Sure.
One of my favorite... this might be like 2 for me. Okay, let me keep going through my list, because I actually have a great list here. Okay, yeah, let's go 5. I can do 5, 4, 3, I think. 5... And then you try to do 5, 4, 3 maybe, or like 5 and 4.
Okay.
We'll try to do that. Just get a couple. Okay. Well, I'm pretty confident my 5
Sure.
is Mob Psycho. Great show. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
It's really good. I would say, like, if you're tired of like whiny protagonists and you like shit like closer to like Saitama, you know, it's not the perfect comparison. Probably some people are like, they're not the fucking same. They're not. But somebody with a disposition that's not a bitch, he's not Saitama. Well, they're kind of pretty similar, actually, in the sense that they have a lot of power. They're pretty nonchalant. They don't really... Yeah. Anyways, Mob Psycho would be 5 for me.
Okay. My 5 is going to be kind of a weird one that I feel like people won't agree with.
Okay.
But... It's just such a dope show.
Okay.
Record of Ragnarok. Because I've talked about this before. The whole show is literally just a tournament. But it's like the concept of it is cool. First of all, just like humans fighting gods. It did sound
cool as fuck.
And like every fight is just so well done.
You're right. This stuff.
And like it's so every fight is like.
What's it called again?
Record of Ragnarok.
Record. Okay.
Every fight lasts like they usually do I think about 3 or 4 fights a season.
Okay.
So each season's like 10, 12 episodes, something like that. So each fight gets like 3 episodes.
Okay.
And it's just like the way that like the different like powers that they give to each, you know, god or human or whatever is just so like creative usually for the most part, and just like the twists on mythology. Like the mythology is just completely fucking wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
But like,
it's cool.
But they have fun with it, you know. They're just like, because it's like all the mythologies exist at the same time.
So shit gets muddy. Yeah, so the waters are muddy.
It doesn't really make sense, but yeah.
That's cool.
It's just
you told me about this show.
It's so dope.
I'll have to try that at some point. Okay, so that's 5. Okay, so 4 for me. Like I think I tipped my hat. I might reorder these things, but yeah, I think Attack on Titan would be 4 for me. I think my positions are pretty clear based on what we've already talked about, but
sure,
yeah. But not a top 3 show. I don't really know if it gets there in the top 3, just because it's just there are other shows that have more of an impact on me, and that's not Attack on Titan for me. It's a good show, quality. I liked it, probably like 90% of it for the most part, but yeah, I think that's appropriate. For 4 for me. What would be 4 for you?
Dragon Ball. All of it.
Yeah, okay. I was waiting until we get some of the OGs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I know like a lot of people don't like Super, but I don't give a shit. Super's dope. And
if you had to take one Dragon Ball though.
Z.
Okay.
Z's definitely.
I think you just say Dragon Ball though. But yeah, but maybe Z if
definitely not the original Dragon Ball. That shit is so slow.
I think everyone would agree with that too. Talk about 3 episodes per fight. Talk about 10 how many episodes per punch?
Bro. When I crap you not.
I was there, bro. I remember you when you were watching
when Goku fights Piccolo the first time, that fight is like 23 episodes long. I know. Swear, it's like a whole season. Yeah. There's an episode of that fight where the entire episode Piccolo is just laughing in the background. Like, he doesn't stop. I remember you telling me about this. For 22 minutes, he doesn't stop. And I'm like, what is happening? Like,
they cut to him, he's still laughing.
Yeah, it's like Goku's having a conversation with someone on the sideline, and Piccolo's just back there like, like, for fucking 20 minutes straight. Bro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is the GOAT.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I got to start thinking about my OGs and everything, and I think I'll be ooh,
I don't know though.
Ooh,
I might say something blasphemous. I need everyone to brace themselves for me to say some crazy
now
shit.
It's tough because I'm running out of spots.
Damn. You know what? Fuck it. I might have to put People are gonna hate this. I might have to put Super above Dragon Ball Z.
Really?
Solely because
a lot of people like Super though.
Yeah, people just kind of think that some of the stuff they did with like Super Saiyan God era is kind of stupid and it's like over the top or whatever. But
I mean, Super Saiyan God, it does sound.
I mean, the fact that like the whole thing, like the fact that like the blue is called like Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, it like that's what it's actually called. That's fucking ridiculous.
It's insane. Yeah.
But it's also dope when they like say it say it and transform, and it's like y'all are fucked. Wow. But yeah, no. Ooh, I don't know though. Actually, okay, I'm gonna say Dragon Ball Super for like 2 reasons. Okay. I'm gonna include. There've been 2 Dragon Ball like movies that are Dragon Ball Super movies that take place like after the most recent season of Super, or the final season of Super, and one of them was a Broly movie, and Broly is tough as fuck, and I feel like he's carrying a lot of it. Broly's just horrifying. He's so great. And then the Goku Black arc is just fantastic for me.
Yeah.
Like, people like, and that does get ridiculous because like I mean he literally gets deleted by God because he becomes so powerful.
Yeah.
But like Zamasu becoming like Goku Rose and Super Saiyan Rose or whatever, and like he has like such a great look and everything. And Ultra Instinct is so cool.
Ultra Instinct is cool.
It's so dope. But that's not even that arc. That's the one after that.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah, everyone thinks
the universal, cool, the multiversal tournament or whatever, like that shit is fucking dope. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I have to put Super above it actually.
Okay, wow, interesting.
I think I like because it's weird because people that complain about it, they'll say like, oh, like they think it's ridiculous how he, like Goku's fighting Beerus and he's like literally fighting a god that can't be defeated, and it's like,
what's the point?
That's insane. And then when he becomes a god later. And with the Super Saiyan Blue stuff, and then with Zamasu becoming a god that can like eat timelines, and
it's a kid show.
Yeah, but I like that, next level cosmic bullshit. When they get to that point, I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for, man. I'm like, look, the tournaments and stuff in Dragon Ball Z are dope. Like when they're fighting Majin Buu and they're fighting.
That's the core.
Yeah, it's like that stuff's really good. But at the same time, it's dope as hell when Goku's just punching the Destruction God in the face like he thinks he can win, and Beerus is just like, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's good. I mean, shit. Okay, yeah, Super overs.
Yeah, I'm sorry, internet.
Hey, well, I mean, you'll have some people that'll agree with you.
I don't think so.
I think you get a couple people.
At least it's not like saying.
Maybe that's probably not the popular opinion, though.
At least it's not.
Everyone loves Dragon Ball Z.
True. At least it's not saying like that you prefer Boruto over Naruto.
Yeah,
that's a cardinal sin.
That would be a cardinal sin. Okay, so that's your 4, or was that your 3?
That was my 4.
That was your 4. Okay, so yeah. Okay,
all of Dragon Ball, but if I have to pick one of the 3, then Super.
Yeah, Super. Okay, barely edging out Z. Okay, all right. Yeah. So, yeah, for me it was Mob Psycho, Attack on Titan, and for 3. I'm going to give an honorable mention at this point. This is not my 3rd pick. One Punch Man, great show. Season 2, great, but not like fantastic. And I've heard Season 3, it's mostly just the animation. It's not the actual show. But unfortunately, it matters nowadays, folks. It really was not... I didn't have a huge problem with it in Season 2, but the animation was a noticeable step down. New studio took it over. I don't know if you saw when people were complaining about it. Year or 2 ago when Season 2 came out, but I thought it was fine because like everything that happened in that show was awesome still, but the animation was subpar, and then basically it's just getting worse now. I haven't seen it though. Honorable mention goes to Attack on Titan though. If they I mean not Attack on Titan, that's funny. Honorable mention goes to One Punch Man. Maybe they'll turn around, but maybe not, unfortunately. Number 3 though for me, I think if I'm able to throw out One Punch Man, that makes my life a lot easier for picking the top 3. And I think I'll give it to My Hero. I'll give 3 to My Hero. Yeah. I'll be optimistic that it's going to turn around. But I love the show. Even with Midoriya being a whiny bitch, I stomached that for the most part and really liked the progression.
Yeah.
And season 5 really slowed things down, but I've heard things get a lot better, so I'll take that with a grain of salt and say that it's probably 3.
Same.
Nice. Okay, nice. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
My Hero's great.
Anything to add?
I don't care. Like, whatever, like, people be like, talking about, like, it's overrated or whatever. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Like, every time there's a show like that, you always get idiots saying it's overrated. You know, it's just like a non-zero percentage that will always exist.
It's weird. Like, even though Midoriya does, like, cry a lot, especially, like, in season 1.
Yeah, literally.
It's almost like, it's, like, weirdly acceptable for some, like, just the way that it happens.
Supposed to be
he's not, like, crying for no reason. He's, like, about to die, or, like, everyone he knows is about to die, and he's, like, unable to fight back, so he's crying, and then he, like, becomes awesome 5 seconds later. So
he's also, like, kid. Yeah, he's a kid faced with unbelievable circumstances, and he cries.
Yeah, which I forgot that they're all, like, 15. In the entire, like, throughout the entire show, they're all, like, 15 years old, and I was like, okay, you're all literally like children, so.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, My Hero at 3, I think we're on the same page there. Maybe not the best one of all time, but... all right, I've got a curveball for 2 here.
Okay.
But I have talked about this show before. I don't know how frequently with you. ReZero is probably my favorite anime. Have you ever heard of it?
I mean,
you can look it up. I'll just explain the concept. It's a pretty popular anime, so if anyone's listening to this, they probably know the show for the most part. It's you know, maybe not on everyone's top list, but the premise of the show is it's like a video game in the sense that this guy, he has like checkpoints, and it's like a similar. It's the same concept as like. There's like a name for this type of story. It's like In Another World or whatever, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those type of stories. So that's the type of story for him. So he's like in this random world, and in this world, he gets checkpoints, and when he dies, he respawns at the last checkpoint. Okay, and he's trying to make progress, and it's like partially. It's mostly an action-adventure show. It's just a guy. He doesn't have powers.
Mm-hmm.
Just a guy. That there's definitely some supernatural elements. They meet people like witches and stuff. It's, I would say, equal parts a like adventure action story about that and getting through the checkpoints and whenever and experiencing like a lot of loss. And then I think it's like half romance, or like I think that's the direction it's going. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, really interesting, really cool show. Would highly recommend it. I think season 3 just came out and I need to just binge it. And maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe it'll be the worst show of all time. But so far, there's just insane shit that happens. Now, what I've said doesn't like say how fucking cool it is. You can watch that show, and while just... This is why anime can be so good, is when you see shit like this, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like, when you see something executed like this that's just blows your fucking mind but works in the context of the story, awesome. Like, the monsters and creatures and threats and villains in that show, oh, so good. My favorite part about the show, I think, is the villains and the story. But anyways, ReZero, number 2 for me.
Code Geass.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just good, man. It's like Death Note, but with the ending you want.
You know, honorable mention I should give to Death Note, because I do really like that show, and I think, and we, you know, we'll disagree on this, I do think, you know, start to finish, is pretty good.
I don't agree with people that don't like the post L part. I just don't like the very end.
Yeah. I don't really get why people. I've seen that opinion before too. It's like literally almost nothing changes from the thing though. It's like I don't understand why you couldn't like it unless you're like super invested in L.
Yeah, Nier's not that different. He's like the same character basically.
And it's like almost like L planned for this to happen.
Yeah.
So L's still winning. If you're a big L fan, you're like, oh well, he beat L. And then now it's just N. It's stupid. I'm like, bro, you're not actually, like, your eyes are closed. Your eyes are actually fucking closed if that's your opinion. But yeah. God. Okay. Yeah, but Code Geass.
Yeah, it's just great.
Yeah. The better.
Yeah. I mean, like, the way that, like, Light is manipulative of, you know, everything, like, the Luch is like that, but, like, times 1,000. And...
I've heard great things about Code Geass. And I've heard it's at like number 1, number 2 on a lot of people's list, actually. Yeah. So I'm not super surprised at that. Death Note, You know, if I would put it like 6. You know, if I didn't like Mob Psycho as much as I did, I'd probably put it at 5. But I like Attack on Titan more.
Plus, Code Geass is kind of similar to Death Note and my number 1, where it's like it comes in and it tells its story and then it ends. It doesn't like try to keep going and going and going.
True, that's a good point. I like that. I do like that. That's what I liked about Mob Psycho as well. But okay. So number 2, did I already give my number 2?
You did.
Okay. So number 1, Naruto. Easy.
Interesting.
Easy.
A classic as number 1. I like it.
Don't have to think too hard. Now, I think ReZero is still my favorite anime. But Naruto is just the GOAT. I mean, I really don't need to say anything here.
Yeah, I mean...
The original show is great. Corny, for sure. But it works really well.
All anime is
It works
corny.
really well. Believe it! You know, it's like, yeah, we get it. We get it. You could do that like 50,000 times. My Hero on the list and they say
Plus Ultra. Like
true. Yeah, the Plus Ultra shit, I'll be honest, stupider than any cheesy thing that is in Naruto. Outside of filler episodes. But anyways, yeah. Naruto, the original show, cheesy, but great. Fantastic still. And then Shippuden is like a stroke of masterpiece. Stroke of genius, I should say. But yeah, a masterpiece all the same. But I don't really say anything. That's a pretty common opinion. I haven't seen any of Boruto, and I probably will never. I'm not like diametrically opposed to the idea of Boruto, and I've heard it's gotten only better since it's came out.
Sure.
For the most part, but it didn't start out very good. So I'm not interested in it. The show ended with Shippuden, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, easy Naruto number 1. No controversy here.
Nice. My number 1 is Castlevania.
That's also probably...
Because that shit is literally perfect. It's not like, again, it kind of similar to what you just said. It's probably not like my favorite show ever.
But just like objectively.
But it's like, in the way that like what I said about Code Geass, where it's like it comes in and tells the story and it leaves. Castlevania does that even better. It's just like every single second of that show is exactly as long as, is exactly necessary.
Yeah. They don't linger on anything.
Yeah, it's just like, like come in, tell the story, leave, and it's completely fucking perfect the whole way through.
Castlevania. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people love Castlevania. I've heard that too. Was it a video game first?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When did it come out originally?
The game?
Anime.
I want to say like 2011 or something. Like, it's old.
Okay. Yeah. But like during our lifetimes, yeah.
Yeah, not like that old, but...
yeah. But the game, I think, is old.
The game is old, yeah.
I don't know if it's as old as like the early 2000s, 90s.
2017.
Is the
this show.
Okay, that's what I thought. I do remember it coming out. Like, I remember when it came out, because obviously people talking about the game. But I thought the game was like really old. Maybe not like super old. The first game came out in... This can't be right. This cannot be correct. Games. 1986! Okay, that's right.
Damn.
Starts from 1986. The most recent game was this year, evidently. They released a game. Apparently a continuation of the original series. But anyways, wow, they've released a lot. Fuck ton of games. Holy shit.
I know there's like a lot of
pretty much one every year since the 80s. Almost literally. Wait, is it literally? Oh my god. They've released, I'm not even kidding. They've released a Castlevania game every year since 1986. Oh no. I just realized something. Okay, the black is years that... Okay, they've listed every year here for some reason, but the black is... Okay,
it's just showing gaps.
Okay, I understand now. Almost every year, but the black is the only years they haven't made a Castlevania game.
That's crazy,
bro. What I'm not showing on the screen is just that they made a ton of Castlevanias. But it started with 1986. The first 3 games were 86, 87, and 89. And I think the show was based off what? Do we even know?
One of the games.
One of the games. Maybe the first one. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the game when I watched it. I can't remember why. I think I was just bored or something.
It's based off Castlevania 3 from 1989. Came out on what? The Nintendo... I don't know. Maybe GameCube, probably?
Probably, yeah.
Nintendo console. Oh, the NES, probably, yeah. The NES. Okay, cool. Yeah, I might need to watch Castlevania then.
It's pretty great.
What would you say, this is a side topic, but what would you say is your most... What anime would you recommend the most to, like, a, non-specific person,
Like just a random
Just
person?
Random, yeah. You don't know anything about them and their likes and dislikes.
Probably.
But you want to recommend
I actually
one
probably
anime.
would say Castlevania because
Really?
it's like... It's like the least... It's one of the more... Like least... It's one of the least cheesy feeling... You know how like anime... Like the way dialogue is a lot of the time?
Yeah.
Can feel very like overly emotionally
They're just explaining everything too, yeah.
Castlevania is not like that at all.
Okay, it's more conversational.
It's like, it's a lot more like how like American TV is.
Yeah.
Like dialogue,
like sitcoms,
American TV and stuff like that. It's a lot more like realistic, I guess, in terms of how people talk and like how interactions happen. And there's none of that like over explaining like inside your head stuff.
Okay.
So it's like it's anime but like
shot realistically almost.
Yeah. So it's, I would say like it's
almost
a good,
like
like if you're trying to like be like, hey, you should watch anime instead of having someone jump in the deep end with like My Hero and then hearing Plus Ultra.
Yeah.
Have it be like, here, this is anime technically, but
not Death Note. You wouldn't give them Death Note.
I think Death Note still has some of that like.
What do you mean?
Like the over-explaining, like...
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean...
But I think if you want to learn, if you want to get your toes into anime, you gotta get used to that.
Death Note's a good one, too, though.
Yeah. I think that's a cross. I think anyone would agree with that.
I think most people start with Death Note anyway.
Yeah. It's super accessible. It's short. It's for the most part, guaranteed to be entertaining. And it's, like, gripping, I guess, is the main sell, right?
Yeah.
It's very gripping.
It is, like, a very, like... It's also just, like, a great, I think, concept.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so cool.
Just like...
If we talk about good things about Death Note for once, God, the concept is so fucking dope. So fucking dope. And then you get someone that... The way Light changes... Oh,
yeah.
So cool.
From, like, the first few episodes or whatever.
His progression was awesome. Him going from writing shit in the Death Note... Being scared to write shit in the Death Note or do anything with it, or like being scared of what's his face.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
The Shinigami.
Yeah. You being scared of the Shinigami and shit, going like the Shinigami like, yo, Light, what are you doing, bro? You're just writing specific instructions for a guy to walk across the street and get a heart attack. What the fuck are?
Yeah.
He's getting way too smart for this shit, man. And now you're delegating the powers of the fucking what the fuck? How the fuck can you do that? No, but awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that part of it's so sick. His descent, and then like I remember one of the biggest things that stand out to me is like I forget exactly how it went down, but I'd have to rewatch it. But yeah, I guess I'd probably say Death Note too.
But yeah, so solid top fives, I think.
Yeah, and I think you wouldn't get a ton. I mean, I think.
Did you put Attack on Titan on yours?
Attack on Titan squoze into number 4 for me. I could have easily put them at 5, because I really like Mob Psycho. I do think Attack on Titan is a great show though, and I think it's just objectively better than Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho is fantastic. I think Attack on Titan is better, and I do think I will say this. I can understand why people put it in their top... Attack on Titan put it in their top 3. Because when I finished watching Attack on Titan, my first reaction, if you'd asked me to name my top 5, is I would have put it at 3 or 2. I would have put it at 3 or 2.
Just like a gut reaction.
Yeah, my gut reaction. Just because of the way it ended, especially because of, after something like Game of Thrones happens, you're just worried any show's going to fuck up the end. Especially shows that are like coming out and not like finished, that you know whether or not they're probably bad or good. Like something like Dexter, for example, where... I was thinking of watching Dexter. I looked it up. Okay, I'm never watching Dexter. Easy decision. I don't have to subject myself to that.
It's okay. There's like 5 sequels. They retcon that shit.
Yeah, well, they've retconned it and they fucked up retconning, and they've retconned it and they fucked up and they've retconned it again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But apparently, like, the most recent one is good. So.
I think so too. Which is crazy because the first time they did it, it was okay, but they didn't do it right. So they immediately tried to correct it, and they kind of corrected things, but they still fucked some shit up. And then this most recent time, just finished.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
it's
like, kicked ass, sure. Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Only destroyed all of your credibility up to this point, to the point where I'm not watching Dexter. But for a show like Attack on Titan, where there's the manga, people want it to be accurate, but know that deviations will probably happen compared to execution on screen, you know, that was great. And so my visceral reaction was to put it that high. But I think thinking back on the other shows and what they were able to do, Attack on Titan is a great show. I could put it in my top 3. I don't know. If you put it at 1, I do. I was joking earlier, but not really. I don't think you've watched enough anime. I think you can put it at number 2. But you probably haven't watched enough anime. You know, 3 makes a lot of sense for me, for most people. And then anything below that, you know, is either makes sense if you go far beyond like top 10. I think you're probably underrating it. But anyways, yeah, that's why I put Attack on Titan 4. But yeah, I get it being top like 2 or 3. I don't know, top 1. It's great. And I thought about it first. I'm like, is this better? No. The thing is, I've seen Naruto. If I hadn't seen Naruto, I think I would have said it's my favorite, and then not thought about how many other shows could be better. But can't do that. So, all right. Any other topics?
There's a few more on here. Oh. We could talk about how, like, the Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. Let me talk a little bit about Harry Potter. Okay.
If that's going to be good. Or if it's a good idea, I guess.
Let's get a couple things out of the way. So, I mean, let me just ask you some questions about it, and then we can go into whatever you want to talk about. So, okay. What do we think about the show, just in general? Okay, just very broad strokes. You don't have to name anything specific. But do you think the show is, like, set up for success?
Yes.
Okay, I agree. I think there are people that disagree with us. And I think it's because...
They're wrong.
Yeah. But, like, okay. But some people are going to say casting. So what do you think of the cast?
Casting is fine.
I think the casting's fine, too. I have no problem with the casting.
Except
whatsoever.
for Snape.
Okay. That... I was waiting for that. Right.
Because that's going to be hilarious.
So Snape, right? So, I mean, I'll be honest. Most of the characters...
Who do you think stole the Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah. Hey, you know.
It's the black guy.
Could be.
That's the funniest discourse about that.
It is.
Everyone
it is
being
right
like,
now, yeah.
Harry's going to be like, I don't trust this guy.
Yeah.
He stole it.
Yeah.
Why do you think that, Harry? I don't know. There's something about him.
I think
seem trustworthy.
Honestly, my only problem with it is in the book. I think most characters they don't say anything about what they look like pretty much. Like, okay, Ron, I think they say like fair skinned red hair. They say that with all the Weasleys.
Sure.
And like Hermione, I think gets a somewhat subjective, you know, like fair skin or whatever, some weird shit that really could go either way. But other than that, I don't think they mentioned like any races whatsoever in the books.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe like I think outside of like just people's names being indicative.
Like maybe Dumbledore again, like they say. But I do think in the book that they say like Snape is like pale skinned or something. You know, okay. Not the biggest fan of them deviating for that reason. With that being said, Snape being black, besides like the meme potential of it, which is high.
Fucking high, bro.
Yeah, it's to the moon. So especially considering how long the show's supposed to go for, technically, and how much content you could get out of that, and how many scenes, you know. Other than that, I mean, I really don't have a problem with it. You know, it is going to be probably a little bit a tough pill to swallow. Do I think it ruins the chance for the show to be good? No, of course not. I think that's ridiculous, and I don't think you...
Yeah, no, it's... I mean, really, it's just...
It really doesn't matter. It's weird, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's
because
really
race swapping, it happens all the time, especially with books to movies.
Mm-hmm. And it's really just the meme of it. That's really.
It is just the meme of it. Yeah, it's the meme of like the main antagonist in the movies that Harry interacts with, that he doesn't realize is a protagonist, obviously. Sure. At Hogwarts, like on a regular basis, is Snape.
Yeah.
It is Snape.
Yeah.
Voldemort's big. You know, Draco he fucks with all the time. But
Snape
he has a lot of interactions.
His op, bro.
Yeah. Snape is like he doesn't think Draco would ever kill him, but he thinks Snape might kill him. Like, he thinks Draco would beat his ass, but he didn't think he would ever kill him.
Yeah.
He's worried about his father killing him, maybe. Lucius killing him, but he's not worried. But he's definitely worried about Snape killing him.
Yeah.
When, ironically, obviously, it would never happen. But, yeah. Besides that, okay, so the casting we've covered, I think. Then the casting doesn't really seem like a problem, and the main three look good, actually. The main three cast is
you watched the trailer that just came out?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it looks good. It looks good. I like it. You know, what else? What else is on your mind?
Well, I think it wasn't really much. I mean, it really just like every time anybody mentions anything about it, you just see everyone being like, "Oh, this is so dumb that's even happening," or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's almost just inevitable that something like this happens.
It's a little soon, but at the same time,
when did 7 Part 2 come out?
Like, I mean, 2012, 2013, something like that.
Yeah, probably right.
It might have been later than that.
No, I think you're right on. 2011.
So yeah, I mean, it's been what?
15 years. It's been 15 years.
That's crazy.
Since here's something that'll blow your mind to real Harry Potter heads. It's been 15 years since Part 2 of Book 7 came out in movie form.
Yeah.
Fuck when the books come out. You were dead. You weren't alive, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But yeah. Part of me just wants it to be like 9 out of 10, or like 11 out of 10 good, just so everyone can shut the fuck up about it.
I would love that.
It reminds me of like when the second Avatar was about to come out, and for like 4 months before that movie came out, everyone was acting like Avatar didn't matter and no one remembered any characters' names.
A lot of people.
And then that movie just destroyed everything in the box. It was just like, y'all are all fucking stupid. But like...
Yeah. Like, they weren't gonna see it, too. Yeah, That's the funny thing. And, like, some people didn't see it, and some people were like, it's just another Avatar movie, whatever. This is a good movie, actually.
Everyone's like, oh, no one remembers the characters' names. And I'm like, you're lying. You know their names.
Jake Sully!
But yeah, it kind of feels the same as that, where everyone's just, like, automatically hating on it because
it's just, like, the popular thing to hate is, like, oh, my pearl-clutching Harry Potter adaptation is now, like... The Harry Potter name, as a fan of Harry Potter, and I don't think anybody that's not a fan of Harry Potter is dogging on it, or at least like they call themselves a fan. But with something like this, you're worried. I guess it might dilute. When I'm a fan of something and I see something coming out, like I'm trying to think of a really good example of this that's happened. And it's like Teen Titans. This is a great example, actually. Teen Titans is a fantastic example. Okay, so if I was allowed to put Teen Titans on my top 5, it'd be number 1 over Naruto. It's just a great show. But when it ended, a lot of people weren't happy. It ended okay, but like people wanted more, and it people have been clamoring it for years and years. And finally, Cartoon Network announced new Teen Titans show, and it had been talked about for I think about like over 2 years, maybe close to 3. That like a show was coming, and like but it had been teased like we don't know what's gonna happen, we don't know exactly what it's gonna look like, whatever it could be. And then I guess that we had the Titan show, but that wasn't satisfying for a lot of people. We really wanted the return to the animation, so that I'm really forgetting the time. I'm throwing out the Titan
action show. Titans.
Yeah,
bro, that show's fucking mid.
Well, that's why I'm throwing. I'm saying it's not even relevant to this conversation. People were clamoring for the animated Teen Titans to come back, and then we get Teen Titans Go. Now, is Teen Titans Go a bad show? No, it is not. It's not a bad show. Is it the Teen Titans that was promised? Lisan Al Gaib? No, it was not. It was not the Teen Titans that was promised.
It's whatever the opposite of the Lisan Al Gaib is,
It's fucking a dead worm. I don't know. Well, whatever. Yeah, whatever the opposite of that would be. So, I mean, okay, it's not the opposite because it's still an entertaining show, but it's not what you wanted. Yeah. It's not what you wanted. And here's the thing, though. I don't think that tainted the Teen Titans legacy because it was still a good show. What I would be worried about as a Harry Potter fan is that they come up with a show and it ends up being bad. if Teen Titans Go ended up being bad, a lot of the negative reception came out just because it wasn't Teen Titans. People ended up liking it. It's been a high reviewed show for a long time. Is it still going? I think so. Presumably, I think it's still going. So, that turned out good. Not a stand of the legacy. I think if I was worried about anything as a Harry Potter fan, if the show is ass, that kind of sucks. If it's mid, it doesn't really matter, probably. It's just going to come and go.
Yeah.
It doesn't really even stand the legacy of Harry Potter. It just doesn't live up to the original, which was already obviously not easy. And if it's great, it's going to be hilarious, I think. I think for it to be great, it would require... I think they've set everything up correctly. We both agree on that. I think now it's like the acting. Like, if everything actually delivers, the narrative is probably going to be good. The writing is probably going to be decent. As long as they don't bastardize any truths.
Sure.
And they're able to keep it entertaining. They're able to actually...
don't change anything and add all the missing shit from
correct.
the movies.
Well, that's the point of this show,
and it'll be better.
The point of the show is supposed to show all the missing shit.
Yeah.
So it should be, in theory, it should be a banger show.
It should be better than the movies.
They can't scrimp on the budget. That's the important thing. We can't have this looking like Supergirl. As long as that's not the case, I think we'll be fine. Show? Yeah, obviously. As long as it's not looking like that, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. I don't think HBO will fuck that up anyway.
True, it's HBO, yeah.
Yeah. Which is a huge,
oh, yeah.
Positive.
Confidence booster,
yeah. So, all right, it's probably going to be great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have faith in it. We'll see what happens, but I think it has the ingredients for success. And I think they can figure it out. Especially, if they come up with a nice, multi-year plan, it sounds like what they're doing. That works pretty well usually when they do that. When they come up with a plan, as long as they stick to it, usually that works well for shows.
Yeah, they said it. I think they said that it probably won't be it won't be once a year. Just because it's too much.
Yeah, the filming takes too long. It'll probably be
they said
a year and a half or something.
I think they were saying that their hope is 2 years.
Okay.
Per season or something like that.
Not great.
Which is I don't know if it's literally going to be,
but over a year.
Years, but more than a year.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Because that was they were saying they want to try to make sure that they don't look too much older than what they're supposed to be as the show progresses.
It can't take 2 years then.
Yeah, you can't take 2 years.
So okay. Yeah, if it's a year and a half or a year and a third.
At least the first couple times.
Yeah.
It's got it
eventually it's not gonna matter. Once they're 13.
If you get through book 3.
I think you gotta get you finish book 4, you're done.
Sure, yeah.
Because book 4, Harry's still a kid, man.
Yeah.
He's running through the maze, he's a fucking kid. Book 5, he's an adult.
Yeah.
He's in the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah. The Order of the Phoenix thing is so much more adult anyway.
He's an adult, and when everyone's the clone of him, and you're watching the movie, they're adults. They're not sniveling kids. When 4, he's still, crying over Cedric.
I think depending on how those kids look when they're growing up, you could still get away with it.
Yeah, a little
in
bit
the
for
fourth
sure.
one.
Well, Stranger Things has been fucking.
Yeah.
It's been doing that for a long time now because and let's talk about this. This is why you can't do that with Stranger Things waiting 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
This is why you can't do this because
Stranger Things fucking forever.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years per season. The last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And boy, how do you kill hype in a show, man? I don't hear anybody. Okay. I don't talk to, dozens and dozens of people. I don't hear anybody excited or really talking about Stranger Things generally. Much less. Let me rephrase. I hear significantly less people being hyped about Stranger Things. And the show may be still great. I don't know. I haven't seen the recent season. I was waiting for it to finish, so I might binge it. But I'm not excited.
It's not good.
I'm not excited. It's not good? Is that the consensus, or is it just
mid?
Season 5
sucks, bro.
Really?
And the ending is dumb.
Interesting.
I
thought it was just mid,
bro. Look up IMDb.
That's what I'm,
bro. I don't think the ratings are actually that bad, but it's bad though. It's pretty bad.
I don't know.
The episode right before the finale is really bad.
Oh boy. All right, let's look at episodes. Let's go season 5. We got 7.8, 8.3, 8.5, 9.
Look at that bad boy.
Oh!
And the finale's only a 7.5. It was bad, bro. It was not good.
7.5 isn't terrible, but it's not what it's for a finale you want.
It's a really bad 7.5 though.
Okay, I believe you. 5.6 is bad.
Yeah.
And 7.5, I think I did hear people complaining about the way it ended.
It's not good.
So I'm not excited to watch that. I'll be honest.
Especially coming off season 4.
That's why that's one reason. Yeah.
Season 5 is so bad compared to season 4.
Yeah, I like season 4 a lot. That's why. That's not even the main reason why that show's failing, but it's definitely a contributing factor. Just removes the believability. So if they don't do that in Harry Potter, I think they'll be fine for the most part. But I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
All right,
solid first podcast attempt.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll end up calling this or how we're gonna organize this, but we'll figure it out later.
Come up with a name for it and stuff.
Yeah, get on board. We'll try to like structure it better. This is just kind of like top of mind shit, topics that are really we don't have to think hard. We can just talk about them. Like the next time we'll try to get some topics together. We'll talk about some stuff. Trust me, there's no shortage.
Maybe a little bit more focused on like. Just the type of thing. Maybe do some more rankings. Shit.
I like the rankings. I like the rankings. I think. Man.
Rankings. Like that's.
I almost want to do one every episode. Like do a ranking every episode, but that's
possibilities right there.
It's probably not possible.
Probably could do one. I mean,
almost. If we do one almost every episode, that'd be cool. We'll think about the structure of things, but.
And there's some stuff that I had written down that we haven't covered.
Yeah,
so
we'll do that next time.
We'll get more. Yeah.
Or like spread out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Solid.
Sweet.